fans adoring
Welcome
fans.
to, what's this, the 10th session?
Yeah, I got it down as
Session
10th.
10
I think you might have.
I think that's about right, session 10 of the Godbox. So, just to do a quick recap on where we were, the group was in the Washington fort hardpoint, assisting the defenders there when you got basically caught up in pursuing an Adinos warband that had stolen something from the Smithsonian Museum, as well as taking various individuals from the fort hostage. You pursued them through various means across Washington, through a mystical tree bridge to the underground domed world of Meretica, across Meretica. You managed to track them to a temple that they also used to get back to Earth itself. You followed to find yourself on a bridge of shipwrecked ships in Lake. I'm going to say Lake Michigan. It's not. It's one of the Great Lakes anyway. But in one of those, I'm not American, so I get the geography a bit wrong. You followed the shipwrecked ships back to shore. However, the shore was a bit flooded as the lake itself had its water level had risen, and most of Chicago, which is within the living land reality, so it's all ruined. And on top of that, it's significantly flooded. You managed to make your way across the floods of Chicago, heading towards Willis Tower, or the Sears Tower as it used to be, which was where you surmised your quarry was headed. On the way, you encountered a group of Core Earth survivors who had gone a tad feral in the fact that they'd organised some kind of sacrificial cult to something they called the Ruler. You managed to break up their little worship, but not before the Ruler had put an appearance in. And the Ruler appears to be a many-tentacled Leviathan octopus, things that man was not meant to know about hybrid. You managed to get away, but not without the Ruler following in hot pursuit. You got to the bottom of Willis Tower, started making your way up before realizing that the bottom of Willis Tower had been claimed by the Ruler as some kind of spawning ground, and hundreds of its fetid spawn began to pursue you up the stairs. You managed to get all the way up the stairs, getting away from them, and then it began a heavy slog up the many stories of the Willis Tower. Round about the 68th floor, you started to see husks of giant insects had been discarded. Huge piles, hundreds, thousands possibly, of these things. A couple of you had read some Delphi Council briefing documents, and you'd surmise that this was possibly a species called the Astana, who are a race from the prehistory, or the myth of the living land, a race that had been essentially wiped out by the Adinos in an earlier religious purge of some kind. You continued up, and as you went up more and more levels, more and more of these corpses and bodies appeared, until you got to the floor where you are at the moment, where not only are there a lot more of these corpses, but they were indeed more corpse-like. A lot less husk and a little more meat on the underlying bones. You had approached the main room on these stairs after hearing movement, and that is where you've briefly found yourselves. If I just sync the client view. The Adinos warriors within here were being instructed by someone within the room, and they were essentially dumping fresher looking corpses of these Astana into large piles within the room. You swiftly made a plan, burst in, taking them by surprise. You managed to get yourselves into position, took a couple of pot shots. I believe you took down at least one of the Adinos warriors. I think it was White Spear Warrior number 9. Oh, which reminds me, you did also find evidence that these Adinos, who are all clad in bone and are armed with bone spears, are apparently some different subculture to the other Idinos that you're pursuing, who were wearing gold, like more jewelry than Mr. T would sniff at, essentially. And you're beginning to realize that there are certainly different tribes within the Adinos, and possibly they don't all get on with one another. When you were back in Washington, the ones you were encountering were more, they had sort of semi-permanently tattooed their lower jaws red. So you burst in, took a couple of shots. The Adinos turned to see you, somewhat surprised, but then they swiftly got their mojo back together. And from towards the center of the room, you heard some chanting. And the chanting lasted maybe 8 or 9 seconds. And at the crescendo of the chanting, lots of the insect corpses began to just slide down off of the piles and then stood up, being brought back into unlife by whatever the powers that were being used.
Yeah, they stole my plan.
And that was where we left it last week. Theo, this place has the same underlying feel of sadness that you detected or have been detecting so many floors below. But before we do anything else, can Theo please give me a quick faith check? That's a total of 16. Difficulty was only a 10 on the good success. There's a slight difference here. The same feeling of sadness is permeating the whole place. But from the reanimated figures with the deep red glow in their eyes, you can also feel an underlying sense of spiritual hatred coming from these things.
Towards, is it like directed hatred?
Can't tell at this moment in time. You got the feeling when one of them looked at you, so your best guess is at the moment possibly hatred of the living. It could be more targeted than that, but that would be your idea at the moment. Now, with the appearance of the undead, you are now fighting a spiritual evil source. So I believe that means that 2 of your number, Residents and Abram, before anything else kicks off, you get to make a scholar check because of your occultist perk.
It also opens up a few options for me, which I'm quite pleased about.
Scholar check, yep.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, son of a... I still get to put one in my pool at least, but
you
yeah.
do. You only, whereas the difficulty was a 10, so you got a standard success.
What's
so
your scholar? Bloody hell.
Well, his mind's quite good. He's another brainiac like Dr. Dick.
Okay.
So you get to pick, well, you would have done 1, 2, or 3, depending on the level, and then you get to keep one of the cards, and you can then choose to put a card from your hand into your pool. So at the moment, you are going to get a connection card. So you can put that into your hand, and you can put an additional card into your pool.
Groovy.
And I think it was the bad guys go because they had initiative. So the fella what did the summoning is in the background, and he's already done his action. So the warriors seem to see what's going on with the undead and take appropriate action.
They run away.
Well, not away, but yes. One moves around there. 2, 5, 6.
Look up, big movement.
Going for the...
And they're actually, these guys are going to move up a bit further because they're not going to do anything else this round. Those three move up and are going to be taking on the dwarf.
That one's unsteady. He's standing on pipes.
Possibly, but he looks like he's quite fine. White Spear Warriors 8, 12, and 3 dive literally head first into the pile of dead insect men.
Into the pile.
Into the pile.
Oh man! So we can't see them essentially.
Nope, you cannot.
I think these husks burn.
The ones on the lower floors you think might have been, but it's like insect chitin. So it may burn, but here they are more like actual corpses than hollow shells. And then, as they were only summoned this round, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They're going to shuffle forward, but they're not actually engaging this round.
Joy. Come on, Theo, we need some miracle here. Oh, it looks like he's setting something up.
I am indeed.
This is a sort of game where you want to lock the door and put them on the other side of it.
Potentially. So the only ones actually doing anything this round is White Spear Warriors 1, 11, and 10 are actually, do you know what? White Spear Warriors 5 and 2 are actually going to do something as well. They, with a -2 penalty, are going to taunt the dwarf.
He's got me dead. He's wind up. I think they should have a
Just
bonus.
call him an elf and then
Yeah.
Sorted.
Yeah.
You can't defend against a taunt, can you?
You can, you do an active defense and it would add to your taunt, which is your charisma,
Yeah, well,
which is
actually,
your defense.
Defense.
Is that what our defense for taunt is? Charisma? Oh hell, we're buggered.
Yeah, taunt is charisma. Right.
Yeah.
Apart from Theo.
So they are getting an overall a -2 to this. But I'm not going to add it on yet because I know exactly what I'm going to do. So do you want to roll a bonus number to add to your taunt defense then? That's a minimum of a 1. So even though it was a 12, that's a +1.
Yeah.
So what is your charisma or taunt skill? +1.
Taunt skill, as I go down my list, is 6.
6. Okay, well, let's roll their taunt. So there
that's
are
better
2
than
of
the
them
5
ganging
before.
up. So they're an aggregate -1 at the moment because there are 2 of them, giving them a +1 bonus. But they moved more than their standard move, so that gives them a -2, so an overall +1. Oh, that didn't work. Push the wrong button. Okay, so currently that's a 9, so that's a success, but they're not happy with a success because they want to get a decent success. So they're going to spend one of the, and I'm going to see if I can get the noise here. That's me. I've got a pile of tokens in front of me for once now. I'm spending one of the group possibilities on that. So their skill is an aggregate of a 7. And they just rolled a 13. So the possibility makes that up to a 15. So I'm assuming 15 is higher than what it was, but is that, it's not 10 more, is it? But it is
Nope.
5 more than your
9
defense.
more.
Okay. So if you hadn't defended, that would have been an outstanding success. As it is, they are going to make the dwarf very vulnerable for their friends to just have a stab at.
So what can you do with the player's call against us?
There isn't really one, but I can essentially make you disfavored or make you lose your next go, essentially.
So
But there's no, I can't take you
Focus
out
off them.
because you're
Yeah.
not mooks. Yeah, you're not mooks.
Phew.
So Warriors 11, 1, and 10, they're doing a combined attack, so that's giving them a melee weapons with their spears with a +3.
Do they have any AP?
Do they have any AP on their spears? I don't think they do. No. Boneforged spear. No, doesn't have armor piercing. So they're getting an aggregate bonus of a +3. Do you know what? No, they're not going to all out attack. They're just going to do the 3 of them.
He can't attack back.
Gives them a 17. Why not? What's your... Well, you're unarmed normally, so what's your unarmed defense? Including your shield, because that does add to your defensive. But remember, you've got a -4 because you're very vulnerable.
I'm trying
But
to
you
find
did an all-out defense though, so you get +1 to it.
+1 to that. That still adds.
Where do you put my defense?
Which is just, you've got it on the front sheet, I think. Unarmed, 14 brackets 3 is showing there.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. That's 15 then.
Okay, so 15 -4 is an 11. Because you're very vulnerable due to the taunt. Why the taunt has made you very vulnerable? Maybe you have got the classic dwarven temper, and they have they're making appropriate battle cries at you, and it's wound you up somewhat. I'm going to spend another one of the pot of possibilities for these guys. So their skill is a melee weapons of, in this case, I'll add their bonuses on 11. That's a melee weapons of 14. And I've already rolled a 16. Okay, so that gives them a 23. So that's 2 bonus die of damage. Only one of them does damage, though. So that is 22 damage against your armor. Now, bearing in mind, you do get to add your shield bonus to your armor in this instance because you chose to actively defend.
Yeah, I'm trying to work it out because it's crazy here. What's the +4 from toughness?
4 from your actual armor because you're strength 11, 4, 15, 18. So it's 4 result points. So it's 2 shock. So not a huge amount, but they were able to crack your.
Shock now.
You're lucky. I forgot they're relentless. Just to let you know what relentless does. The most furious fighters put everything they have into their blows. When this character successfully uses the all-out attack option in melee, they can spend 3 shock to add an extra bonus die to the damage. This stacks with the usual bonus damage from good and outstanding results. So just bear that in mind. They have that as a possible option. We are in a standard scene, and with the blows raining down upon the outside of Durak's otherwise fortress-like armor, you guys go first. Now, you are stymied, so whatever you're doing...
Can you run away when you're in melee?
If you've got an action, you can. It just makes you vulnerable by disengaging.
Oh, damn it.
You've done your thing, haven't you? Defense.
But I still get to move a card over.
Yeah, you still get to move a card over on your go. So who's going to go first? You didn't successfully defend, unfortunately, so you don't get the card.
Trying to say.
So who on your side is going first?
It looked like Theo was lining up to do something, but he's just gone on the phone.
Yeah, so somebody else is going to have to go first.
We might need Theo's preempt thing though.
Well, if any of you's got any other AoEs yourselves?
Yeah, yeah, I've got 2 AoEs. Just trying to work out if any of them are any use, or which is the most use.
Dr. Dick's got a good position. He was sniping at someone last turn, so who were you sniping at?
Oh, he was aiming, wasn't he? Yes, he's aimed already.
Unfortunately, I think the gentleman he was aiming at has taken cover in...
Gutted.
Well, maybe he's got them bullets that, zoom in on people, like...
He may do, but who's going to go first? Oh, doesn't matter. Heroes must act according to how the players are seated. So, I forgot about that one. Counterclockwise. So, Durak would go first.
Moved already.
After Durak, it's Abram.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I'm just reading my potion up.
Yeah. So Abram's now. Badger, Dr. Sanders is up next.
I've
I've actually heard anything from Badger on the sound today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are there.
I forgot
mute
I
again,
had
is he?
muted thing.
So Abram first, then you, then Ryoko, then Theo, then Residents. Because of plan. What plan?
What's their strength? We're allowed to know things like this, aren't we?
Yeah, you can ask me any stats if I'm not going to tell you. There's the undead stunner are strength 12.
And the
The Dinos, the white spears,
the dinosaurs as well, please.
10.
A medium blast affects how many?
It'll do a 3x3. It'd be quite tight.
Okay. So a small blast is what, a 2x2? 3x3. 1, 2, 3. So that's they're just not quite nicely. Too much in a line rather than a nice clump.
Yeah, you can get at most from your range. You can probably get. You could get a 4.
Or do I go help the dwarf? Does the dwarf need help?
The piles are quite high, so you probably aren't aware of what's going on behind that pile of corpses.
Fair enough. I'll leave it like that then. So I will. Let's give it a go. I'll throw my potion.
Mm-hmm.
And group in front of me. Try and get, if possible, 4 of them. Then.
What does your potion do?
They have to make a strength test. If they pass, they lose 2 shock.
Right. They are undead.
Fail,
they do not take shock.
Oh.
Are you shocked by that?
If they fail, it's an automatic KO though. But
they don't get shock, so you can't knock them out.
Shock bit wouldn't.
Yeah. KO is a result of shock as well. So they wouldn't
right. So it can't be KO'd. They've got to be okay. Okay, let's try again. Let's ignore those.
Not like got any holy weapons. Holy hand grenades or something.
Me? No. I had a Molotov cocktail, but I gave it to somebody before I disconnected.
And it's been used.
Okay, that's all right.
Was it used?
Yep, Ryoko used it on the fishmen back in the lake.
Oh, don't remember.
Where I took out 3 at once.
You did.
Where's the? I know there's no way I can see him. I'm just going to try and take out us. So if I shoot more than one, then you do a multi-action, don't you, or something, or multi-target?
Multi-attack. You're doing a multi-target attack, yeah.
So what does that?
-2 per additional target.
And what's their not dodge? Defense.
Well, their defense for if it was unarmed, they're unarmed defense, or you're shooting at them. Their dodge is 9. Their unarmed is 10.
Right. So dodge would be 9. Sorry, I'm taking a while here. I do apologise. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only got 1 explosive shell. Damn it. Thought I had 2 left. Okay, no.
Did you not ask for more in the box it dropped, like we all did?
You can only have a certain number.
Yeah, I can only have 2. Oh no, well no, yeah, I can only have 2, and I've got to make them myself, so I can't really.
Yeah, they're not ammo like that.
Get them in a box.
He's got untold normal bullets as a result of that.
Well, my ones basically all I have to do is request scrap metal, and I make them myself. It only takes an hour or something.
That's all I have to do, but I've used 1. So I mean, I keep having as many as I want, but I've got to make them. I can only hold 2 at a time, though.
The question is, are you firing one right now?
I will do. I'll use an explosive shell on the ones in front of us. It's a small blast.
So are you going for the ones closest? So that would be 8 and 7, or 13 and 5, or 11 and 4.
I'll go to the ones on the left, so that if anyone else is doing an AoE like Theo, then they're still clumped together. The rest of them, I've not split them up. So I'll go for the 2 on the left.
Yeah, Skell, we're going from right to left, so you're second last.
As long as people aren't moving, that's fine.
Oh, a little bit explodey, but not very.
So
This
does
is your
pretty much just
boom stick. So their dodges are 9, so that's a good success. So 1 bonus die to whatever damage you're doing.
19 damage to both of them.
Okay, that would be ineffective. They have
Oh,
toughness 15, so you do enough to do 2 shock,
and they don't take shock.
and they don't take shock.
Ooh.
I just spent a possibility on that to up it.
You could do, because if you wanted to, you should really have done it before you rolled the damage.
But we'd have known what their toughness was.
You would have known what their toughness was. So I'll let you go with that one this time.
What do I need to get an extra bonus dice?
Okay, so you're on the 15, so you would get a minimum of a 25 off of that, which would be 6 more points. So you're going to get 1 bonus die regardless if you spend a possibility.
Oh, so yeah, I'll do that. I'll spend the possibility.
Roll just in case you get a stupidly high result and glorious kick in.
I have no possibilities left. I
Okay,
just noticed.
so my
Don't forget, you all recently got new Cosm cards.
Yeah, but I can't use mine. It's based on weather.
um 22 is my total. What was my Cosm card?
If anyone's got a Cosm card that brings in some monster, that might be a good idea to use it now. I'm not sure.
Extra bonus dice then.
Yeah, you do. So roll an additional one.
That's 22 damage.
22, that would be 7, which means you do 1 wound. So with the extra little bit of oomph, get the right ones, Astana 8 and 7. Their shells are blown apart in the explosion. Dr. Dick,
Uh,
by all means, play a card into your hat pool, Abram.
Oh, yeah.
right. So these what's their trick resistance? These.
They are undead.
So
Hang on, I'm just double checking it. No, they're immune to poison and other effects require breathing, eating, other living processes. They are relentless. They ignore shock. They do not have any kind of trick defense. Their trick defense in that case is their mind attribute, which is a 3.
Okay.
That's they can be tricked so easily when they're under.
I know. I'd rather think of like the most sciencey thing I could do, but I'm not sure if it would be appropriate. Like I'm just thinking thematically, build make some sort of anti-ant thing.
Bug spray and threaten
Yeah,
them.
like some sort of thing. Like or just like some of the something like just try to improvise something and throw at. I'm gonna say all 4 of the closest ones.
11 for 2 and 9, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am at a -2, but it's still gonna be not that hard.
Well, you'll be a -6 because there's
Oh crap, that's true. But still,
it's per additional one.
I forgot about that. But still a 3.
Yeah, no.
It's going to be high enough for your taunt, isn't it? I think, or trick rather.
Trick.
Just don't roll a 1.
Okay, well, you were successful. Do you want to make them vulnerable or stymied?
You tricked them with a 5.
Yeah, they only did defense of 3.
Oh,
Still fucking ridiculous. I don't know. Do you want? What do you people who get?
It's got to be the same effect on each of them, by the way.
Yeah, I'm think I'm gonna just say
I'm harder to hit us, I think.
vulnerable.
Because they're about to come after us.
Vulnerable or stymied?
Vulnerable.
Okay.
well, I know one thing that. Why am I doing it?
Because you're the person selected on the
I know one way to win this game, but I don't know how.
Ryoko. But you can move as well, Dr. Dick, if you want to. Don't forget. As long as you don't move more than your dex in meters.
Have you missed?
He's flying.
Haven't I attacked one last time?
You may have done, but it was one of the Adinos, and it was either the one that got taken out, or it would now be one of them that's dived into the big pile of Astana corpses.
Ah, okay.
So the ones over here for numbers, if I just move the green bit, those 3 are actually concealed within the pile of corpses.
All right.
And you know why?
Okay, well,
They kill everything living.
is it possible to get in, attack, and then move back again?
Yeah, as long as you're not moving more than your movement. But if you are disengaging, which you can do, you don't provoke any attacks of opportunity, but you do become vulnerable as a result of the moving back.
All right.
Yeah, I can't get any more vulnerable. I can't move.
All out attack, but I'm very vulnerable. Okay. This is not what I'm gonna do. Okay, well, I will just step forward. There's no other thing to do, I guess. And I will hit number 11.
Okay, they are unarmed, so you are attacking their unarmed combat, which is a 10. That's your difficulty. Was what happened? He's stymied, not vulnerable. So
as Gas says, don't roll a 1.
So let's do the melee weapon thingy.
It's my job to be helpful.
Come on.
You had a 10 though.
Yeah, well.
it hits, just doesn't do any bonus damage.
High toughness, they're about 15.
Yeah, you need bonus damage.
Some of it is armor, though.
Well, there's armor piercing 2 on the katana.
Sure. So you're getting rid of 2 of their armor. So the toughness versus you is only 13. What damage do you normally do?
13.
Okay, so essentially you step up to the thing, you wind up, bring the sword in, and you pierce the thing straight through the center torso, pull your sword out, and it just nothing. It's unfazed.
Do we need to get 10 above that, do we? To get that?
You need to get 5 more
Oh, 5.
to do at least 1 wound.
Yeah, I'm out of possibilities.
I was just asking
You
because
can
of
put-
the preservation from Orosh.
Yeah.
Standard soak doesn't start. We're not
Oh
doing
yeah, no, that's good, because if they were soaking, then they'd have to get a 15 on a soak to get rid of a wound. Normally a 10 gets rid of 1 wound and 2 shock, or 1 wound and all shock. A 15 gets rid of 2 wounds and all shock, and a 20 gets rid of all wounds and all shock. In a Rosh, it's less.
Can I play a card into my pool
You
now?
can indeed play a card from your hand into your pool, and then it's Theo's go.
Okay, well, Theo, well, caught me all unawares there.
Sort them all out. We've been waiting for this.
They've been building it up.
Right, okay. Well, I hold up my cross,
Mm-hmm.
brandish my crucifix toward them, and say to my colleagues, be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. I will not leave you or forsake you. And I cast.
So he just said God in the eye then.
No, I
Called
didn't.
himself God. Nancy, you did- I will not leave
What he said doesn't need to match what he wrote.
So it's a faith check. Oh, check that out. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yep, I'm assuming it's a DN 10, so that's probably an outstanding result.
So sorry, this is a ward enemy I'm doing. I should declare that before I start rolling willy
Yeah,
nilly.
pretty much sure it was. Can you want to describe to people what enemy does?
Ward enemy basically boosts the defences of all allies under that token, so it's everybody except Durak. Sorry, Durak. Is that an outstanding success?
It is.
It is.
As long as the DM was 10 on a ward enemy, it is, isn't it? Or is it? It might even be an 8.
No, it's DN10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it plus 8? Is it that gets you outstanding?
10 plus 10.
Plus 10. Okay.
So every 5. Yeah. So
God,
difficulty +5, +10.
Okay,
He's
all right.
I want to go for there and join the enemy now. Can I join the enemy?
No, unfortunately.
So
What does it do?
everybody, Every-
Dead Durek.
everyone gets +2 to all their defences, which is nice. But supernaturally evil creatures who fail an attack against any enemy protected now become stymied.
Yeah.
And that lasts
Very
for...
nice.
It lasts for a concentration. I just have to maintain concentration on it, and I believe it's actually
It's a WOM around you. So as long as you
Correct.
remain within 5 meters of Theo, you'll be golden.
yeah. And those of you that are out of 5 meters, if you come back, you will be within the under my
okay.
protection.
Residents,
Very nice. Thank you.
as you feel your colleague do that, and you feel a little bit bolstered.
Cool. I'm going to. So the undead have no trick defense.
They have very little trick defense. So Theo, don't forget to play a card from your hand into your pool so that you've got it available for you in the next combat round.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm going to probably move up beside Theo
Made him vulnerable.
and then try and
Yeah, 11,
somehow
4,
trick.
2, and 9 are already vulnerable, just remember.
Okay.
For the spiders, probably.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
I'll
I'll.
go for the trick defense, because versus you, their trick defense is a 1.
Oh, okay, cool. And what's the other thing? Very stymied I can give them, isn't it?
You can. That will give them minuses to do anything to you.
Okay, I'll try and do that, I suppose. They're undead. They're trying to make their way towards us. I'm going to. How am I going to trick them? Explain to me what trick it is again, so I'm not trying to use like charisma on this. I'm going to try and basically draw them towards me. Yeah, I'm going to try and.
You're trying to fool them, bluff them, throw them off the guard, bluff them into believing some temporary ruse. It's primarily a distraction tactic.
Okay,
If you're
grand.
lying to them, that's persuasion.
Okay,
That's your
grand.
3 times. Here you go. Play the cup game.
Yeah. I'm gonna wander over there and I'm gonna take out the revolver and I'm gonna try and basically distract them from the 2 spiders that are coming in on their left or on their right.
Okay. So you're doing this against 2 and 9, yeah?
So what am I? I'm just rolling trick, am I?
Yeah. So are you doing it against 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of them?
2 of them.
How many? Sorry.
2 and 9.
Okay, so yes, the 2 on the right hand side. So you're at a -2 for doing multi-action. So just reduce your skill, or afterward you can put the -2 on the modifier stack, or we'll just remember if you haven't put the modifier on. But you're rolling your trick skill for
Don't
this.
forget he's stymied as well.
Who is? Residents or they
They're
are?
all stymied.
Oh, of course, yeah. Don't forget you got -2. That wouldn't have affected before, but yeah, go ahead.
So is it -4 now?
There's a -4 because you're stymied this round. Yes.
That's a lead card I don't like.
Oh, we are.
A good roll. So it's an action of 21. So that's outstanding. You're not really going to be able to take them out with that trick, but we will say that, okay, first off, do you want to make them very vulnerable or very stymied? They're already vulnerable, so possibly very stymied is going to be worth it.
Very stymied would probably be more worth it, so I don't want them chewing on my spiders.
And 2 and 9 lose their next turn. As a result of that, they spin around. You distract them. You really, your distraction sort of draws their attention to the spiders, and I mean, you don't really understand how these things are engaging with the world or what their psychology is. But it would seem that the appearance of something else unliving, it's confused them a little bit.
Grand. Okay, and then the arachnobots will take 2 separate attacks on the bollocks.
So they're going to do separate attacks 1-on-1, or just 2 attacks on number 9. What are they doing?
2 on number 9.
2 on number 9. Okay. Now remember, their toughness is 15, so you're probably not going to be able to punch through anything unless you get bonus die damage. If they did gang up, that's a guaranteed extra +1, but not necessarily to the damage. So go ahead and make your rolls. So because they are currently stymied, their defenses are 8 against the spider. So arachnobot.
First one,
They're very stymied.
mediocre. And
6.
second one,
No, they're vulnerable, but they're very stymied. So vulnerable only reduces it by 2.
I thought you said stymied.
Yeah, they are stymied, but that gives them minuses, not you. So the first one isn't enough to get a bonus die of damage. The second one, however, is so the spider damage plus the bonus die.
6s.
Okay. Well,
Mm.
your stalwart mechanical minions are attempting to macerate the outside shell, but their claws are just scraping on the outside. Doesn't sound quite as bad as nails on a chalkboard, but it's getting close.
grand.
Next round, small pack hunts best. Now, you do not know how good this is for you guys.
Go first.
Not just going first. The opponents are fatigued, but that'll only affect the dead ones. I'll just describe, and you'll get this impression from seeing them move. The Ostana undead have an ability called Horde. Okay? Thanks to their connection, undead Ostana are extremely dangerous in numbers. Apply any bonuses from a combined action to damage as well as the attack itself when multiple Ostana attack a single target. But because of the world laws of the living land at the moment, mobs may not cooperate on tests, so they can't do mob attacks on you. Proved actions are Intimidate and Trick, and you guys go first.
So sorry for them.
Right, can I go first, guys? Because I really need to do something really, but urgent in the game.
Should have gone.
You just use BRB and just say we'll be back in a minute.
I know, but in game, I really need to get away from all these people that are trying to kill me. I'm trying to find my movement at the minute. I know it's
It'll just be your dex.
Dex 8.
Or
Okay.
times
So
3 if you're doing.
I don't need to go. I only need to move 8. So I'm going to be at -2 then from here.
You're going to move more than 8, yeah?
I moved 8. 1.
And you're not -2.
3, 4.
The minus is only if you run.
It's there, right? Okay.
Right
there.
You would be at A- because of the fact that you've disengaged essentially.
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said it was going to be -2 because I moved away from. I'm going to go there and I'm going to do a intimidate. Can you intimidate undead?
Yeah, they're not mindless.
Yeah, I'm going to intimidate someone over there. I'll intimidate undead 5 because he looks like he's just out of range of me, of the zone. Sorry,
Okay. He has not got any other status effects on him at the moment. Yeah.
And I'm at -2, and I moved.
It's minus. You're vulnerable, not stymied.
Oh, I thought you said I was stymied.
The movement makes you vulnerable.
Right. Okay. Just intimidate at normal. Then. Okay. Here we go.
Again, targets are only 3s.
It's 11 over.
Okay, so do you want to make him very vulnerable or very stymied? And again, you're going to make him very vulnerable. You're going to make him lose his next action.
Oh, great intimidation. He can't even move. He's so shocked.
So who's following Durak?
I will do so.
And you've had the end of your go, so you're I'm currently showing you as very vulnerable. You should only be vulnerable.
I'm going again for number 11.
Okay.
And I'm hoping for a better turnout. Melee weapon.
Mm.
Oh,
So where's that second roll?
that second roll is so disappointing. Time.
Okay. Can I add anything to that? No, I can't.
Well, you can spend a possibility.
Yeah, that I don't have.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right. So that's 14. Yeah, it's 13 again.
Again, it's a solid blow, but you just don't appear to be
I need a
actually
15,
getting
right?
any traction. On these guys, they've got a toughness of 15. You're getting AP, so you need 18.
Can I drop the Cosm card for a possibility?
What's your Cosm card?
Yeah, then I drop the marked for death.
What's marked for death do? What's this Cosm card is do?
Yeah, I can.
Rally card, Dirac.
Play as your hero suffers 1 or more wounds. The injury is completely negated, but you may not soak further wounds or shock
You can only play that when you take a wound.
Yeah.
So not yet.
Or no, I will keep it. Okay. Yeah. Guess I can't do anything else. Although I have a supporter card if someone is close.
Okay, don't forget you can if you've got any more cards in your hand, you can play one of those into your pool as well at the end of your go.
Yeah. So I'm done.
Mark for death doesn't give you possibilities either. It just means you can't get wounded or shocked anymore.
Yeah. All right, I'm done.
Okay, who's following Ryoko?
Yeah, I think their weakness is tricking. If only I had some acid. I don't know. I mean, to melt them with, not to take. I'm not sure what. I mean, I could just keep doing the same thing, or I could. Yeah, just mix up the whole the formula a bit and just keep throwing stuff at them, basically. Like, and I'm going to do the same thing as I did last time. So I'm at a minus.
Against different ones or the same ones?
Same ones. So it's still the -6. Yeah.
Well, don't forget you can't they're already very vulnerable. I'm trying to remember which ones you did it on before.
Oh,
yeah, they're already very stymied.
Yeah, I'm just
Nine.
the whole player's call thing.
Okay, yeah, because you didn't get one last time, did we? Yeah.
Where was that?
Yeah, this will be round 3 for your bless because you had it on for the minute.
It's not that good.
Well, it's the +5 variant.
Would action 12 do anything for me?
That will put it up by another 3, seeing as their defenses are 3. That will put you at 13, which is going to be player's call.
Yay, good. So I'm playing that. Yeah.
And I'm assuming you're tacking very vulnerable onto the same 4 as before.
Yeah. But I'm getting a player's call, right? Could that just be them? Like the thing I'm just throwing out, I'm just making them completely disintegrate.
Not really, because most tricks they're distractions rather than sort of physical interactions. But you can whatever it was has stopped them from being able to do anything. So they've lost their actions.
All right. Okay. I thought I could
remember that in a second.
Yeah,
you can normally. It's just a little bit weird in this situation to.
All right.
Although 2 of them have got double players call on. So I'm going to say that 2 and 9 are in fact taken out for a combination of yours and Residence's actions. Whatever arcane forces are holding them together fail to continue holding them together as a result of the onslaught.
Nice.
If you're getting 2 players' calls, I can't really go against that.
And the other ones are very vulnerable now?
The other ones are very vulnerable. So that's number 4 and number 11 are very vulnerable, and in fact that one's vulnerable and very vulnerable. I'll have to remove one of those. Okay, who's following? And Dr. Dick, you can get a card for doing a successful trick. And you can play a card from your hand into your pool. Who's following Dr. Dick? Residents, Theo and Abram have yet to go.
Should I have gotten a card for a successful trick there?
That was last round. You haven't done anything there this round. Last round, you would have gotten a card for a successful taunt, not trick.
Or
Okay. Right, okay, cool.
Can I shoot at that one I'm pointing at?
Can you shoot at the one you're pointing at? Give it a quick find check. It's only DN 10 because it is quite dark.
You sure you should just shoot that? I don't know. Well, I'm not going to tell you to shoot. Maybe you got my idea, but...
Oh, you can just see them.
Well, there's no point shooting any of those undead ones because none of them are doing anything this round.
None of them. Number 13, number 5. They're both doing things, potentially. Numbers 1, 10, 6, 12, and 3.
They seem less worthy of actually wasting your attack on. Well, when you're only doing a 3 again, the toughness is so high, and there's no point in doing that. Whereas trick, you only need a 13 in total to get a.
Yes, you can find that guy. You're going to be at -2 because of light conditions, but yeah, you can certainly shoot to him.
I'll do that.
You want to be warrior number 4. His dodge is 10.
Oh man, I'm going to leave that.
You are within the axioms, though, despite.
I own a Rorschach axiom.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, residents or Theo?
Theo, do you have something to do? Because I'm just going to do the fucking rinse and repeat again.
I'm going to intimidate someone scare them with the wrath of the Lord.
Go then.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure exactly who's stymied and vulnerable and things. I can't. So I could do with someone who isn't.
Number 4 is very vulnerable. Number 11 is also very vulnerable. So neither of them are stymied, but they are also, those 2 are stunned. They're not doing anything this round because of Dr. Dix. Number 5 and number 13. Number 5 is very vulnerable, but it does get a go. And number 13 is.
I don't think 5 gets a go because that's the one I intimidated.
Yeah, but you made him very vulnerable, didn't you? Not you didn't. Did you get a player's call on it? Didn't think. Oh no, you spent the points to get the player's call, didn't you? No, that wasn't you. That was.
I look back to see where my combo.
I'm just looking now. You got a 14. Their intimidation defense is 14.
Was it? Okay.
So you were successful, but you didn't get a player's call. And what was I doing? Number 13. I was looking for number 13. He's unimpeded currently.
Right, he's the target then.
Okay.
I guess if I'm not sure, is Ryoka? He's not in a square. Is he left or right there? It's freaking me out.
He's not blocking your line of sight for an intimidate.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I will yes, basically say that the wrath of the Lord shall be upon you. Turn back from your flee back to the darkness from whence you came, kind of thing, and
I'm a cockroach.
Intimidate.
Oh, that's good. So that's currently, I mean, their intimidation defense is 14. So obviously there's something stealing them at this point, but that's still a success. So do you wish to make him stymied or vulnerable?
Vulnerable,
Or-
please, because they
Okay.
get stymied if they miss. So it's vulnerable.
That
then.
is a good point.
Your intimidate defense is 14.
Yep.
And I get to play a doodah into my hand.
A new card, which is a glory card, and you do indeed get to play a card from your hand into your pool.
Glory.
Residence.
Right. Okay.
So 11
So
and 4 are both, they're not going to do anything, and I believe, they're both very vulnerable.
and they can't do anything. Full stop.
They have lost their round this go.
Grand. Okay. I will move around to where Abram is and see if I can't trick trick 5 and 13.
So you're going to shift, so move yourself a little bit. There we go. So you're going to try 5 and 13.
I'm
Okay.
gonna
They are
do
both currently, well, they're at least vulnerable or very vulnerable. So the difficulty is essentially that you're doing trick again, yeah? Their trick defenses are either 1 or 0 at this point.
Am I stymied at all?
You are not stymied this round.
Okay. Oh, and there's 2 of them, so I have to.
You got a -2 for the 2, yeah.
Okay. Medium.
So that's a good success.
So we'll see if we can stymie them as well.
Okay, so you can make them, as a good success, you can make them very stymied. But they're still doing stuff. Cool.
Grand. And then the spiders will run up and try.
You get a card to put into your hand. You get a romance card.
Just what you need.
Sec. Grand. And then the spiders are going to run up and try and take a chunk out of undead number 4.
Are they doing separately or are they combining their attack?
Separately.
Okay. So number 4, I think they're all pretty much vulnerable at the moment. Yeah, there are 1.
No.
So their unarmed combat defenses are 6s. So that's enough to do a bonus die of damage, but roll the other one before you roll damage. So there's currently 1 bonus die from Arachnobot 2.
And I'm rolling off the Arachnobot 2 again because I'm not sure if Arachnobot 1 has that thing. So just,
As long as we know its number. And then same again. So roll a bonus die. So you're going off of, what's your basic damage for these guys? It's 12, isn't it?
yes, I think so.
Okay.
Bite, claws, strength +2, and then 10 in a bracket. So is it actually 10?
10, not 12. Yes, 10.
Yeah.
So roll the d6 for the first one, and then roll a d6 for the second one. You're looking for 6s to get rerolls on these ones.
Bitch.
Okay, so they're keeping them busy, but they don't appear to be getting through.
Right. Okay.
Okay, the bad guy.
Shall we come back in an hour? That's a lot of bad guys. Oh, the undead can see him. Yay.
Okay, that guy who is wearing bone armor like the rest, but appears to have more of a shaman aspect to what he's got around him, raises his hands with a big bone totem in his arm, shaking it, and extols his deity. What is your willpower or spirit, Theo?
You require the heist.
Yeah, because willpower is a
Oh, of
stat
course.
off
Sorry.
that.
Duh. So 10.
Right. That being known, he is going to spend one of his possibilities. He's already got a roll of 5, which is why he's spending one of his possibilities on this one. That makes it a 22. Need to not get mixed up. That is an outstanding success. Theo, you just feel dark energy well up from the ground beneath your feet, and you feel the very life being sucked out of you. Depending on the amount of damage you're about to take, you see as some of your skin blisters, darkens, and then falls off in black, disgusting slime.
Ugh.
So that is 6 so far. That's a 9. What is your toughness ignoring armor?
Toughness ignoring armor will be 11. Oh.
Can I get away from him even if it's not my turn?
7.
7. So that's 12 result points of damage. And you take 2 wounds and 4 shock. As the Gotak of Rek Stalek invokes the kill miracle on you.
Ow. Can I do some sort of soaking?
You can attempt to if you have a possibility. And on top of that, you are very vulnerable.
Shit, we gotta take out that guy who did that.
Okay, so 2 wounds and 4 shock. Normally, if you were soaking, you'd spend a possibility, roll a reality skill check, and as we said before, on a 10, you reduce it by 1 wound and all shock, and on a 15, you'd get rid of 2 wounds and all shock. Because you are in and under the Arosh reality, on a perseverance, a standard success won't get rid of any wounds, a good success will get rid of 1 wound, and an outstanding will still get rid of all.
Okay.
So if you've got the point to spend the possibility and roll your reality skill. You need at least 10 to do anything.
Okay, so
Get a 20.
So I've spent my possibility there, and
That activates the ability. Now just roll your reality skill.
here goes the reality.
I have a supporter card ready.
Well, that might be useful. A 17 will get rid of 1 wound and all shock. You are 3 points away from negating everything.
That's a support.
Support card.
That is a supporter card.
Well, actually, I've got a willpower card, so I could do it myself and perhaps say.
You can do it yourself. Yeah.
I'm thinking because I can maybe save the supporter card for someone who's more needy. It's very generous of you, though. Okay.
You reach deep into your faith, into your soul, and you manage to. Normally, with a possibility with a soak, it's going to be you create the reality where that didn't happen, or it missed. But you just reach down and just with a few seconds of pious hope, literally the flesh upon your arms, the bits where it knits back together and is pink and fresh and new. You still wouldn't have soaked the. You're still very vulnerable because you can't soak that, unfortunately. But yes, no damage. Well done.
No damage, awesome. Okay, I'll get rid of my willpower card. Delete that.
Black sludge, dead skin stuff disappears as well.
It's no, because it's still on the floor around him.
Okay. So I just want to check something because this is something that always gets forgotten. Is my concentration? It says here if I suffer a successful interaction or damaging attack.
That was not a successful damaging attack because you soaked it.
Taha. Suck it up. Right, I'm happy then. Off we go.
Okay. The Dinos.
Did you add your defense to that thing, by the way, when you were doing that?
He
No.
couldn't because of the effect. It takes the armor off it. It ignores armor.
So where is he? The guy who did that?
There's a line pointing to him. It's the bottom black line. It wouldn't have impacted because it's not against one of his defenses. Because it's a miracle versus his willpower, which isn't an active defense.
Just as you said armor, and I was just wondering if it was ward armor.
These 5 over here are sort of doing sort of the equivalent of a Maori chant, and they are basically attempting to taunt the dwarf again.
That's not hard.
So there are 5 of them, which will give them a +3.
Can't do things together.
And they're fatigued.
Oh no, they can't. They can't operate. They can't cooperate on tests. I've done all the fatigue already. So in other words, they're going to do a taunt one at a time. So they're going off of an 8.
You saved me, Abraham.
Well, I'm not sure he has, but
He's going to get attacked 3 times now instead of once.
well, 5 times.
5 times. Sorry.
One can't see me. He's around the corner.
Well, he's poking his head around. So what's your taunt defense?
It is now 5.
In fact, we're going to split it up.
No, it's not 5. Wait a minute.
They can't
It
do
is
it all.
5.
So Dr. Dick's going to get taunted as well by some of them. So that would be no. It's just a good success. So it's not outstanding. So White Spear Warrior number 2 is making Durak very vulnerable. If he wasn't already, you were just vulnerable before. So they're not going to be absolutely. And then the second one, which is going to be White Spear Warrior 10. That's still a good success, yeah, because it was a 6, wasn't it? No, 5.
5.
Yeah, so that one is going to make you very stymied.
Oh, wait a minute. There's I don't know if his you said his ward was, so I don't know if I got that.
Yeah, okay, you're in it now, but that's only versus the undead, not the Dinos. And then Warrior 1 and Warrior 11. This is still a taunt versus Dr. Dick.
Yeah.
Oh, it just rolled off of a 20. What's your charisma?
6.
So you are vulnerable on the first one, which means your defense against the second one is only a 4. And there is a third one left. He's doing the same thing. So that's 4. That will choose to make you. He will upgrade your vulnerable to very vulnerable. And he will also make you stymied.
Oh.
What's going to go on next? We've got some more warriors to move through. They've got a move of 8. That's going to go 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, and 8 to there. Warriors 8 and 12 are going to start hurling insults at Ryoko. So that's 2 taunts against Ryoko's charisma defense or taunt defense. What's your taunt in defense, Alexander?
Taunt is just I don't have it skilled, so
That's your charisma.
So it's my charisma.
No, you don't roll it. You tell me what it is. So what's your charisma? You want a 6?
Okay, charisma is 6. Yes.
Oh, these guys are lethal to you lot. Right, so that's a success. The first one is going to make you vulnerable as well. So your defense against the next 2 are 4s. Okay, that guy's going to upgrade your vulnerable to very vulnerable. So your defense against the last guys are 2, and they need it because they're getting appalling rolls here. Oh, okay, he makes you very stymied because at least that is a good success. See, the bad guys can use interaction attacks as well. And then in a slightly different situation, these three are literally, they are just striding. You get the impression, Abram, they're coming directly towards you.
Fine.
And they appear to be doing so without any care or concern, and that is their taunt. They are literally taunting your ability to hurt them. You are weak, feeble, and useless as far as they are concerned. What's your charisma defense or taunt if you have it?
How did they know you so well?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. With my taunt defense of 16.
And again?
You've got 16 charisma.
No.
6.
Oh.
Right, well, the first one failed.
Yes.
The second one, however, made you very vulnerable. And the third one, 6 minus 4 is 2. That's still a success, not a good success. Is making you stymied. And with that, the Ustana surge forward. Now, they're all doing these separately. So number 5 can move and steps forward and swipes at Ryoko with its big old claw. They've basically got big pincers. Ryoko, what is your melee or unarmed defense, depending on whether you're armed, but you are very vulnerable?
Yeah, I used the katana since it's out.
Yeah, so you're armed, yep.
So that's 15.
Minus 4 because you're vulnerable is an 11. So,
Get
and
that card ready.
Dana number 5 is very stymied, so I need to subtract 4 from the result here. He misses because that's a 4.
All right.
Undead number 13 also steps up and tries it on with you as well. This guy, however, is also very stymied. Well done, guys. Your teamwork is working, at least. Also misses because that would be a 2. Their movement is 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number 3 gets to there. Number 4 number 4. Number 12 gets to there. Number 6 moves to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 moves to there. And that guy moves up to there as well. So we have an unarmed attack against Abram. Abram, what's your unarmed combat defense? Minus 4.
Oh, we're getting some bonuses for being within the.
Yeah, you are getting plus 2 from these.
Do I not get? Am I not armed to defense?
It depends what you're wielding. I mean, your gun.
Pistol, which counts as a.
Yeah, it lets you fire it in combat. It doesn't let you use it as a melee weapon in combat.
Oh, I thought I could use it in defense. 13.
Okay, did that include the plus 2 from Theo's ward enemy?
Yes, sorry. It's the plus, not the minus 4, though, or whatever you said.
So you're on a 9. So none of these guys. Number 3 has no modifiers on him. So versus 9. Click the right button. So he just hit. What is your toughness? You are about to get
10.
clawed with a 15.
Right. We don't all have stupid armor on.
Right. The pincers of this thing, as it comes towards you, it's deep black carapace and it's the red fire in its eyes. Its pincer clamps down on your chest and just crunches together. You take 1 wound and 2 shock. And unless you soak it, one of your ribs crack. They do not have AP.
Oh, God. This new magical bonus thing I've got is.
To soak it, I'm at a negative anyway because of the.
Or you're not a negative, but you
Rush
need to
and-
get a 15 with your reality skill check.
And what's your reality skill?
Yep.
No, I'll take it.
Okay, one
So
wound,
what do
two
I
shock.
take? Sorry? One wound.
One
two
wound, two shock. The Undead Ustana number 12 also strikes out to residents as well. What is your unarmed combat defense, residents?
Now, sorry, am I getting attacked?
You are getting stabbed at. Luckily, you haven't got any negatives. You're the only person pretty much who doesn't. So what's your unarmed combat defense?
8.
8. Right. So it's a standard roll versus an 8. Oh, ow. Okay, that would be an outstanding success.
Shit.
Now, before I roll the damage on this, are you doing anything? There's not much you can do to increase your defense, actually. So, okay. What is your toughness?
It's your strength, isn't it? 6.
Plus armor if you have any.
Which I'm not wearing. Nope.
Okay, so that is a 7 onto their base damage of 15. That's a 22. Minus 6 is 16. Is that right? Yeah, 22 minus 6.
Yeah.
So that will be 3 wounds and 6 shock.
Oh, please do it, yeah.
6 shock.
Now you're not defeated on 0 wounds. You're defeated on. You have to test for defeat on your 4th wound.
Okay, but I am out on 0 shock, which I am currently on. So, is there a way I can soak
Attempt
that?
to soak it? Yes. You have to spend a possibility and roll reality skill check. You won't get rid of any wounds unless you get at least a 15, but you will get rid of the shock.
Alex has got a card ready for it.
Yep, I'm sure he has.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding
Play
me.
on himself, though, can't he?
Sorry?
Can't he even play that on himself, though?
Well, supporter.
Oh, right, supporter. Sorry, I thought you meant his one that stops him getting any more
I don't-
wounds and shots.
Yeah, if you got another, you can roll another possibility on this.
Which I am out
Yeah,
of.
you would spend a possibility to actually activate it. You have the damned card.
What's the damned card?
Damn
Take
card.
1 to 3 possibilities from another player character.
I don't have
Make
any.
a corruption
Take
test.
1 to 3 possibility. What's a corruption test?
It is I think it's a charisma check versus.
Oh, no.
No, it's spirit.
Sorry,
Spirit
it is spirit. You are correct.
Okay, right. Okay, spirit, I can help.
Or I think it's spirit or willpower or
Yes,
mind.
if
Sorry,
you've got the
spirit
willpower.
or mind.
But
It's-
it means
Okay,
you're
willpower.
taking points from somebody else. That's the important thing.
To find someone who's got possibilities, though.
Oh, that's a bit mean. Who's got possibilities left?
Abram has 2. Dr.
Oi!
Dick has 1. Theo has 1.
That's kind of shafting everyone else.
See what that card is. It's 100% shafting everyone else.
Saved yourself, though. It's a last-minute dash here.
Have I gotten rid of any of that shock with that card?
No, you need to get at least a 10. What that card would give you is the ability to spend a possibility on your reality skill check. Let's do a quick review of what Cosm cards other people have. Theo has Dino Attack. We know what Ryoko's got because she tried to play it earlier, marked for death. Dr. Dick has no Cosm card.
Nope.
Abram has Sinister Secrets.
It's rubbish, though, I'm afraid. Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Mine's
Well, it does. It gives you
Okay.
stuff. You make a corruption check.
Okay, Abram, I'm really sorry. Don't hate me because I'm so goddamn beautiful, but I'm gonna steal a possibility off you.
It's good. You had 2 anyway.
You're only stealing 1, yeah?
I'm only stealing 1.
Okay, well, let's get the corruption check over and done with first.
I hope you lose charisma here, but hey.
Is this where his skin turns a funny color and we all look at him?
If he fails the corruption check,
Just tell him what to roll.
find it myself. Right, so willpower or spirit test with basically against DC 10. And
Willpower.
let me just double check.
Or spirit.
Being damned
Yeah, willpower, spirit.
at a penalty equal to the number of possibilities taken. So it's a
Yeah.
willpower or spirit check, difficulty 10, with a -1.
This is actually the same fucking roll. Willpower or spirit.
Yeah, willpower would normally be higher because it's a skill based off of spirit.
Yeah, if you've got points in willpower.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'll do that. Grant, okay, go. Here we go. Now we get the
All
fucking
right. The corruption washes off you. Abram, well, it happens anyway. Abram, reduce your possibility total by 1.
you have to do one of these possibility rolls now.
And residents, you need to now roll your extra die. So you could use your possibility roll, put your reality skill in the first box, and then put the number you rolled, which is a 3, in the second box, and then use that.
So reality is spirit plus my reality. So so that's 11.
Yep, and then put a 3 in the second box, and then go ahead and roll that.
Ooh, good one.
You needed a 15. So what was it you were taking? You were taking 3
shock.
wounds and 6 shock.
Yeah.
That reduces it to 2 wounds, but no shock.
Okay.
Result life, it's good.
So the adrenaline courses through you, keeping you awake, but you hear a very real crack as the thing's claw clamps down on your upper left thigh. You're not sure if it's your pelvis that's cracked or the thigh bone itself, but it's significantly painful, and blood is beginning to drench your trouser leg.
That's unfortunate.
Please discard the damned card. You've spent it. And do you know what? For embracing the Rorschach feel, both you and Abram can have a possibility for home field advantage.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
I might not have to kill him now.
Dr. Dick, you are being attacked by 2 undead Ustana.
Yay.
Not over yet? Oh my god, no.
And then there's one on you, Durak. So what is your unarmed combat defense, Dr. Dick, taking a -4 into account?
Unarmed combat.
So it's your dex -4, essentially.
Wait, doesn't it say no? Because
unless you've got unarmed combat.
yeah, well, it's 7, but it's -4. So crap.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one snaps at you. Oh, only got a good success. The second one snaps at you, and just got a standard success. So the first one, 17 against your toughness, which is
toughness,
including armor.
9.
So that's 8. So that will be a wound and 2 shock from the first one, and then 7 versus the next one is because it only does 15 against 8. Yeah, wound and 2 shock.
Okay, so
2 wounds and 4 shock in total, but you'd have to soak them.
I'm going to try to soak one of them. Does it matter which one is one easier?
No, not really.
Okay.
Well, in theory, the first one would be easy because the second one would be at a -1 penalty for having a wound.
All right. Okay, I'm going to do the first one then.
Oh, hang on. We didn't add your +2 for ward enemy.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter because the bonus, it would still be 1 wound and 2 shock because it just means it would have been 6 rather than 8 on the first one.
Can I use my second chance card on that one?
Of course you can. Don't forget to spend your possibility as well.
Second chance
Should have
is
done that
multiple
before the roll.
It's not a addition.
Yeah, it's roll it all entirely again.
Come on.
3 points will upgrade that to a good success.
The Lord is with you, Dr. Dick. Do not fear.
Has anyone got
Willpower.
points?
Yeah, Roku's got a card to play that can help you if he wants to do it.
I've
You
got
need a supporter card. Willpower can only be used on
Yeah.
you unless you trade it to his pool.
Oh,
Will supporter card incoming.
Yay!
Okay, so overall you take 1 wound and 2 shock.
Well, that's
It's better than a punch to the nose.
It is better than a punch in the nose. What is your unarmed defense, Durac?
Currently 16.
So -4, 12. For thou art vulnerable. Verily vulnerable.
It just sounds so weird. It's experience.
It hits, but does no bonus damage. Did that include the +2 ward enemy, yeah?
Yeah.
You can, but you'd have to trade it into his pool. So you'd have to say, Dr. Dick, would you like a willpower card? And Dr. Dick would say, yes, but I only have a Seize Initiative card within my pool. Would you like to swap a Seize Initiative card with me? And then you get the Seize Initiative, he gets the willpower, then he spends the willpower.
Swap us his initiative card, but
You can still do that if you want to.
you're gonna have to like. The plan was to use it now because we get something that's pretty good for us. We already got a pretty good one. Unless we get something even better, of course.
So, 15 damage versus Durac, but no armor piercing.
Okay, you want my toughness now?
Yes, please.
Okay, my toughness is 15.
15, so that's a 0. 15 versus 15. 2 shock, please.
Okay,
Again, you're rattling around in this armor. And luckily, the hell that was round 3 ends.
Oh, thank God for that. Now
Yeah.
this is where we all die.
Now, I'm
This is
about to draw a new
Villains go first.
drama deck card.
George, then this is where we all die.
Fickle Fate. The villains go first, but the heroes are up. Any multi-action is an approved activity. Dice added by possibilities or an equivalent, however, don't add a minimum of 10 this round.
Oh, it's bad.
Now, at this point, if I remember right, can you just let me just have a look at the season issue, because I think season issue is played in a particular way. Yeah. You either play it to keep the hero card before I draw, or after the yes, okay, no, because the whole thing, red as a whole, is all done after the new card for the round. So you can either keep the old one, or get me to draw another one, but the villains will go before you.
We don't want the villains to go first.
We have a Seize Initiative.
You do?
Yeah, we're going to take initiative.
What do you want to do? Do you want to risk another card, or keep Small Pack Hunt's Best?
Is it in your pool? Rather?
Last one was pretty
It
good, wasn't it?
It is, I mean, just to give you a bit of advice, Small Pack Hunt's Best is helping you doubly because you are going first, and it is preventing the swarming of Stana from being able to swarm.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're going to go with that one.
Yay.
Yep.
Okay, who amongst your number is going first?
Wait, what's her Intimidate and Trixie still?
Yeah, Intimidate and Trick still.
And they get fatigue, whatever that does. I don't know what double fatigue does.
That's a good point. I'll deal with that now. Basically, it just means that all of the dinos take another 2 shock each.
Okay, this is the main question, guys. I don't think we can do this out here. Thinking it's better in the room.
You're saying we run away? Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with the dwarf.
Someone say run away!
Where did your spiders go?
They appear to have shown like more.
Yeah, they're in the
common
middle.
Oh, I see them now. So I thought they were beside me, then they weren't there, and I went, oh, where did they go? Right, so retreat, guys. I think that's the best advice here. Do you all want to go first because
Door
we'll
first.
bring up the rear.
Does being wounded impact your move?
No. It would impact any rolls you would make while moving, but it doesn't mean you go slower. I think you don't start going slower until you're sort of like the borderline of being defeated, essentially.
Okay, if I'm correct, it's just Residence who's injured. Is that right?
Residence is injured, Dr. Dick is injured, and yeah, Abram is injured.
I think it's Residence injured the most.
People actually noted their wounds.
Yep, I've put mine on. I've
There's
just got
two.
I'm fine. I'm perfectly healthy apart from my shock. All I need, I can't remember what that shock card is. I need that shock card. The one that heals you.
Who's going first?
Someone go move.
I'm trying to figure out just what I could do to trick these two. I guess I could just keep doing the same thing.
Don't forget, you can move in addition to doing an action. Don't forget, anybody that hasn't already played for the critical moment this scene, so that excludes residents, could choose to play for critical moment, which means you take every single card from your hand, put it into your pool, do what you do using as many cards as you want, and at the end of your go, you discard anything you haven't used.
Did my chat come up there? I didn't see it. There it is.
Yeah, don't do that now. Just reminding people.
That's what happens in the next go.
I mean, I could. Which room are we running into?
The one beside me would be the best one because you have to.
Yeah, down the stairs. Yeah.
Can we disengage sort of thing and run sideways across away from
Yeah, disengage is only you get vulnerable on you.
However, there is a general rule that if you cannot pay the price for doing something, you cannot do it.
Oh, is someone super vulnerable now?
Well, you're very vulnerable. Dr. Dick is very vulnerable. Ryoko is very vulnerable. Theo is very vulnerable. And Abram is very vulnerable.
I thought that went away at the start of our turn. Does it go
At the end of your next go.
So we can't disengage.
Not true. Residents can choose to run as much as you want.
Well done,
Which I may well do.
You crack on, go for it, Residents.
Okay. All right, cool. I think I will actually. Yeah, I think I will actually leg it into that room. Yeah.
Would you like me to heal you before this or after?
The one behind Jorak.
We need to kill things to get other
stairs,
people, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it worth trying to take out the wizard dude?
Right.
I think I'm going to gamble on getting a player's call on the two that I'm engaged with.
Well, the thing is, if you kill the wizard, good.
It doesn't kill
There's
them,
a
does it?
50-50 chance that the spell will make them all die.
Oh yeah,
But we don't know if that will work.
There's no way to kill those guys. They're so fucking tough.
If we can take out the actual wizard dude, because he's in view now, isn't he?
So who can take him out?
Well,
I can try.
He would be within range for me as well if I'm just take a step back. I can't disengage because of those bastards.
Can't step back. That's the problem.
Do it. That's
So I try and shoot that guy.
Or I mean, I do have a pistol, right? And you can use a pistol in close combat. Is that it?
If it has the pistol trait, so yes.
Yeah, but can you use it to shoot someone you're not engaged with then?
You'd be at a minus, but you could do.
I think the time someone played.
Can I try and shoot a Stolic then? Is it worth that? Theo, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good call, probably.
Has anyone got anything that can boost me? I have no idea what I'm going off here, but I assume there's quite a few negatives going on. I could do me play it for the call or whatever it's called.
There is absolutely nothing I can do.
No, but
I don't.
Theo doesn't have any like bless or anything that gives you a bonus to your rolls or anything like that.
Yeah, Theo, you've got something.
Or does he have to concentrate on his defensive one?
You have to concentrate on more. But you can do other things. There's just some minuses for doing the additional ones.
So just shoot then. Give it a go.
Well, this is all. What do you call this? A Hail Mary?
Well, I tell you what, we'll do, which will help us.
Go for it.
I tell you what I'll do. It'll help us
Yep.
all. I'll play Dino Attack.
Oh, hang on a minute. Can I do this first?
Yeah,
Before
okay.
you kill us all. What does Dino Attack do? It brings a dinosaur, doesn't it?
It immediately brings dinosaurs. Well, it doesn't actually bring them immediately. It just gives us a load of possibilities, which we're running out of. And the dinosaurs turn up later, you know.
I don't need
Time this
possibilities
act,
yet.
the dinosaurs turn up.
Well, you may not need possibilities, mister.
I know, but for my attack, it doesn't help me.
No.
That's what I'm saying. You know, fine to do it once.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, let's just hope they
What
won't.
am I rolling?
They won't come up the stairs though.
What am I
Okay.
rolling?
Are you playing Dino Attack?
No, he's not. Not yet. Let me do my thing.
You can do yours first. Okay.
What minuses am I getting? For
Desperation can interrupt card play. No
You're at
problem.
least
Yes.
getting minus
You're
2
up.
from.
What are you doing? You're at -4 for being very stymied.
I'm trying to shoot.
Abram, yeah, you're at -2 because you're stymied. You're not very
Fully
stymied.
bow. No.
So who are you shooting?
Stalek, Gotak.
Right down there. Okay. So that would give you. I'll put the minus on to her defense. So her dodge is 12.
12. So I don't need to do -2 to me though.
Don't do the -2. I've just upped her.
No, it's
dodge.
not just normal
You
roll.
have to get what 10 above 12 to do this.
22.
You're doing outstanding. What are you doing? You were shooting, are you?
Shooting, yes.
Okay.
Try saying killing. You want to do kill. My God, so close.
All right. I'm going to do. Oh, so I do second chance.
Yeah, second chance because you're not going to get any worse, and then do the
Well, I've got a
possibility.
hero card and a possibility, and an action card and 2 adrenaline cards, so I can add a lot to it. But
Whatever you want to do. Your decision.
so if I do a hero card, then that adds at least a 10 to it,
Yes.
which would be 12. And if I do a possibility, that'd be at least another 10 to it, which will be 22.
Good thing about it is you won't get any ones.
Which will give
on
me
the
a +8.
bonuses.
Will be me rolling off a 21, which is 9 off. And then on my action card, right, I'm not going to use my second chance. I'm going to save that in case I roll a 1. So I'll use my hero card. No, I'll use my possibility first.
Okay. So reduce your possibilities down to 1. Use the possibility to roll. So it's your combat skill in the first one.
Is it down to 1? Did you get one stolen off him?
I got one back.
Oh yes.
I'll do my hero card next then.
Okay. So again, same thing. This time you're putting a total of a 12 as the second number. So same first number, 12 as the second number.
I'm on.
Yay!
I'm 1 short. I need 22, don't I?
Yes.
So I will do my action card then to get +3 to it.
Okay. So you draw a bead with some concentration, shutting out everything around you, and then you fire. Sort of cinematic slow motion as the bullet zooms through the battlefield, doing a bullet cam directly towards the. She's a feminine-looking Adinos, so you know it's female.
Right.
No visible boobage though. With not that kind of lizards, but it's more stealth
Possibility.
curves. She does have possibilities, but
Well,
you are getting an outstanding success, which is 2 bonus dice of damage.
Ooh, forgot about that. Oh, you have to do the damage now.
6. Right, so this is armor piercing 4.
That's good because she does have bone forged armor.
Yay, and it is 21 damage.
21 minus her toughness of 9.
Which
That's
is 2 wounds, 4
that's
shock.
12. 2 wounds and 4 shock, which she will spend a possibility on and attempt to soak.
You know,
No
have you ever seen John roll once?
Now, I
Yes.
will point out to anybody that's interested, there are perks within the reality tree, which is essentially only Dr. Dick can access at the moment, called Negator. which would have meant you could have spent one of your possibilities to counter the one she just spent, but you haven't got it. But however, the world laws of Arosh apply to her as much as they do to you. So she needs to get at least a 15 to reduce this by any wounds whatsoever. Her reality skill starts at 12. Sorry.
1. Yes.
She rolls a 6. She is
Wonderful.
going to spend her remaining possibility.
Yes. That's it. Possibilities out.
Instead of 1, that means it'll be just 10.
So her skill is, as I said, is a 12, and she'd already rolled a 4.
She rolls badly here. She can still fail. Oh, damn it.
It takes a wound.
That's good. Still got a wound.
Yeah, she's only got 1 wound. That's hope. She's dead. That's good.
Ability rated. She has
How many?
same number of wounds as you guys.
3 wounds.
Man.
This is where I say, Abraham, your plans stank.
Hey, it was
She's
worth it. And
dead.
it did it. So she's -1 to everything she does now.
Yes, indeed.
Well done.
And it may have just distracted her enough to kill off some of the undead.
Is Theo now playing Dino Attack?
Yes.
Okay. Everyone get okay. The dinosaur will attack at some point this act. Okay, you are currently in a scene. There is another scene in this act. Everyone, and the number of possibilities you get increases depending on the power of the dinosaur that attacks.
The T-Rex, we get 3 points.
Everybody can have 3 possibilities.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Jesus.
Oh, good.
See, you'll all be dead happy
Fuck
about
later
this.
on,
one.
though.
You're welcome.
That next go. We all
Something tells
play
me
a
we won't
card.
be about that
No.
later.
Nobody look at any skill,
Theo.
puzzle, glass, or anything, because the moment we see those ripples, we're fucked. So we can't look at them.
Just to let you know, there wasn't any conscious choice on Theo's part to play that card. That is purely, it's an out of character choice to play the card, but it obviously does have an in character effect. And the in character effect it has, no one else has felt this yet, but you feel the chill of the grave pass through you. Okay? Something more evil or more powerful has joined the fray. Just not right now.
Oh shit, are we getting a zombie T-Rex?
Oh, chill of the grave. That sounds. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Zombies.
do. I'll do my attack now because I want to take out the one below me because I can't get away from him.
Don't forget that Stalix lost all of her possibilities now as well. So that's a big thing for her.
If I make combat thing, it's with the bomb. Right, I'm gonna attack number 1.
The one directly in front of you, he is not under any minuses, so it's just his unarmed combat.
Which is
10.
I'm gonna use a possibility here.
Because you got
Because I
some.
got loads of them.
Don't waste them.
11 in the second one, isn't it?
You put your
Yep.
dice total in the second one, your skill in the first one.
Yeah, my skill is 11. It's only 11. Oh my god! Right, okay. Feels more. There we go. Possibility.
One off of an outstanding success.
I need an outstanding success.
We'll just give you 2 bonus dice if you get an outstanding success.
What's our toughness though?
15.
The-
3 of it is armor.
How much I need above them to get them killed?
You need to do at least 1 wound, so you need a damage total of 20. Sorry, damage total of 17. 16 for you. No, I was right the first time, 17.
I'll do the hero. I'll use a hero card.
So you're spending a hero, so this time, still the skill in the first one, put a 22 in the second box this time.
that work? It still says 22. It's weird. I did type in 11 and 22. And this total is still 22. How the hell does that work?
Well, no, 22 is your dice roll, not the total. Your
Yeah.
total previously was 19. So that added another 3 points on.
Put it on to
So you see, your
22.
die total was 22, was an 11 plus, and then you got an 8. But with the other one, you got an 11. So that's enough to do 2 bonus die of damage. So roll the 2d6.
Okay, that's weird.
You got to remember, once you get above 25, it only goes up by 1 every 5 points.
5,
2 more.
21 and 2 AP.
How much?
That's 5 plus 16 is
Wow, you're doing
21.
16 damage with your hands.
Yeah.
Wow.
And AP 2.
Well, in that case, Astana Undead number 1 is
Can I
quartered.
get it? And I can move now.
And
Hi guys.
indeed.
1, 2, 3, 4,
So-
5, 6, 7.
Are we thinking that if we take out the Starlight Gotak thing, the undead will disappear? Is that what we're thinking?
That is someone's thinking.
What I'm hoping.
I guess so.
Theo, let's ask you, what sort of thing happens if you...
Well, I guess because I'm trying to
picked?
consider one possibility on something, and I'm just trying to figure out like if it does make any sense to do a multi attack. What's her trick?
Her trick defense is. Hang on, look at the right person. 6.
6. Oh, that's not too much, is it? Okay, I'm going to do a multi attack, I guess, against the Starlight attack. First, I'm going to trick her by just getting, pointing the laser of my my 45 in her eyes, and then I'm going to let loose her, round.
Okay, so you're going to trick her, then shoot her. Okay,
Yep.
so generate a single bonus number, and remember that this is going to be at -2. In fact, it's at more than that, because you are, just need to remember to do that, Durak, at the end of your go, you are no longer stymied and no longer vulnerable. Abram, you are no longer stymied and no longer vulnerable. However, on your go, Dr. Dick, you are most definitely still stymied. So
Sure.
you're at -4 on the
Right.
trick. No, minus
So-
4 on everything. Minus 4 on everything. What we're talking about. So generate a bonus number.
Right. So just any. That's not bad, but that's been a possibility on it.
Okay.
Wait. Well, now I've done it. So
Okay, so put your skill total in the first box and put your current die total, which is 19, in the second.
okay, so skill total is. Well, I mean, I'm using 2 different skills. Is it the highest?
For now, well, you're still generating a bonus number at the moment. So, what were you rolling on this one? What
Well,
skill
I'm
did you roll this off of?
starting with trick, and then I'm going to shoot.
That's okay. We can just apply the same bonus number to your shooting. So don't worry about applying the minus on this one. So put your full trick total in, and we'll calculate out the minus afterwards.
And then what was the other number again?
And the other numbers your dice roll, so a 19.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're off of a 21 on your trick currently.
Yep.
Which is a player's call, but she's a named, so you can't take her out, but you can make her lose a go. Or, in fact, what would you like to happen with this trick? What would your ideal thing be? You just can't be a take her out.
Yeah, lose her go, or lose the ability to control the
Sure. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. The undead Ustana.
And then
Okay,
I'm getting an attack with a +4, I suppose.
Yeah, so it counteracts the -4 for doing the multi-action. So just apply the bonus number of 10 to your missile combat, your fire weapons, or whatever you've got.
Which is 11. So that's 21.
21 versus a dodge of 10 is an outstanding result. Please roll 2 dice for bonus damage.
Where was it?
In the rules side.
What does the normal damage of your pistol do?
14.
+7, that's a 21. Her toughness is 12, that is 9 result points. She takes another wound, which you cannot soak because she doesn't have any more. Okay, strictly speaking, she doesn't have any personal possibilities yet, but I'm not going to be mean enough to use my ref possibilities to let her soak at this point.
Nice. No, me.
So she takes 1 wound and 2 shock.
Woo.
And the undead do shiver. They don't collapse, but they do. There is an obvious adjustment in their attitude.
Right. Would that mean I'll be able to disengage as well?
No, because you're still vulnerable. You're still very vulnerable this round.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, but at the end of the round, you're no longer very vulnerable and you're no longer stymied. Who's following Dr. Dick?
Can I see Stalak
Yeah, of course you can. Yep.
to shoot?
Yes. I mean, she's not at short range for the shotgun, but yeah, you can see her.
John just keeps his ref points for the big dino.
Well, just so you know, I get 2 per player per act, and I have. Just double check this: 3, 6, 7, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, I've got 11. I've used 1.
Is there cards and steals from GM?
No.
The range increments that I have here being 15, 30, 45, and they've got 5-inch. Is that the amount of squares on this?
Yeah, meters essentially. So each square is a meter. So you're between 15 and 30 from where you are at the moment, I think.
Okay, so
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. She's 1 square outside of short range.
all right. So if I just step forward, one,
Yeah,
I
you can move because you are not currently pinned by anybody.
All right, I'll step forward. Is everyone happy with me going? By the way, I'm getting all carried excited
Yeah.
here.
If you kill it, then everyone else will be able to move.
Okay.
Some of them would be able to move.
So I'll step forward.
She's very vulnerable, isn't she? So
Glower at her with vengeance, seeing as she tried to do some horrible, ungodly act to me.
She did.
Rise up, O Lord, and let thine enemies be scattered, I say as I unleash a load of shotgun shells at her.
I'm assuming that means you're doing a multi-shot, yeah?
Oh, yes.
Rapid fire, I mean. So you're doing a short burst.
Yeah, pulling out all the stops for this one.
Right, so you're at a +2 for the short burst. You are very vulnerable. That doesn't affect anything you're doing, however. So you're at a +2, and as you are right on the cusp of short range, I believe you get an additional +2 for your shotgun.
So +4 in total.
I remember
Yep.
+4 for the.
Oh, and my blast, does that not help?
If it's affecting you, that adds to your dex.
Plus another +1 to my dex, so that'll be another +1.
That'll be a 5.
Anyone else?
Oh, the dex one is. If you were affected by it, you should be taking it into account.
Ooh.
You've still got a couple of rounds left on it as well.
All right.
So roll your fire combat.
Fire combat. Here we go. Have it.
And you're including the +5 already. Her dodge is a 10, so that's a good success. It's not an outstanding.
Okay, so can I spend a possibility on my new dino?
You can indeed, yeah.
Right, and then so the first First one's my skill total, so I put
By combat, including your +5 in the first one.
last dice total. So
And then you put a 14, which was your die total in the second one.
should be 10 and 40. Okay, hopefully I've done that right. Oh, check that out.
You didn't, because your skill total should have included the +5, but we can add it on at the end, so that's a
oops.
28.
Oh,
It's all right.
28.
It's a 28. We can add it all on the end. So that is most definitely an outstanding success. So roll 2 bonus die, and what's your basic damage for your shotgun?
Basic shotgun damage is 15.
15, isn't it? You're on, yep. So roll your bonus dice, 2d6. Remember, it is your signature weapon. Not that it matters.
I need a 9 on a d6.
Because he rolled a 5, he rolled a 6, which counts as a 5, and then he re-rolled it as a 4.
It looks very wrong.
I know. That's 29
Have it.
Nice.
versus a toughness of 12. So what do you say? Rise up, a lord, and let thine enemies be scattered, is what you said, yeah?
It is.
And then you just
Over
go
all.
with the 3 shots of the shotgun. Every single one of them is like center mass, top mass, head. And the lizard man priestess goes down. The last shot, it isn't just impacting her torso, but it's actually shattering her bone armor at the same time. And there's just an explosion of white shards as your third shot, as you basically you track up the torso as the third shot takes out her head. Who's going after Theo?
This is not going to be an open casket, I guess.
This is going to be a dustpan.
We need it probably.
All right. So what's up with the undeads now? They are.
They haven't stopped at the moment. You're not sure, but they have. When Theo just did that, they shudder again, but they are still moving. Although perhaps at this moment in time, perhaps not with the same conviction of purpose, but the red light of hatred is still very much flaring in their eyes.
All right. I try my luck with undead 12, who is next to Hemlock.
Okay, so you're spinning and just striking backwards, yeah?
Yes. So where's melee weapon?
Hang on a second. I just need to remember. Theo, your conditions disappear. Ryoka, you're very stymied, so you'll be at -4.
Okay, so I need to put this.
We'll account for it. Just remember it.
Okay. Come on for once.
Oh, good one.
That was a good one. So that's a 21 against their unarmed combat of 10. So that is a outstanding success. So whatever your normal damage is, roll 2 bonus die and add them to it.
So that's 18.
Right. So don't forget you've got your ability to do Kai strikes and the like.
Yes.
So 18 on the toughness of the one you've just hit. You have got armor piercing on your katana, so the toughness is only 12. That is 1 wound and 2 shock, which is enough to kill it without doing a Kai strike.
All right, then let's do this.
So all of a sudden, just effortlessly, seemingly not having taken any issue with anything so far, you spin around, and with your momentum, your sword just passes through the neck of the undead insect man, and its body collapses to the floor. Why didn't that one go? Oh, I deleted Whitespear Warrior number 12, not Ustana number 12. That's why. Not to worry.
That one out as well. Well done, you.
He's still there. Who's still got to go? Residents? Is that it? Or an Abram? Abram, you went right at the beginning, didn't you?
Oh,
What are you, residents? Yes, you are the only person that followed the repeat plan, Derek. Nobody else really could.
I am going to take pot shot at although Feck it. I'm going to try and trick undead number 3 and 13 and then leg it out the door with Jurak.
Okay, if you can get them to... Oh, no, you can run anyway because you're not vulnerable at the moment.
Yeah.
So 3 and 13. So it's a -2, but they've only got a defense of 3 anyway. You didn't get a player's call, but you can make them very vulnerable or very stymied, your choice.
Very stymied on the basis that I would like them not hitting the others.
Sure.
And then I'm going to run away.
I'm vulnerable because you're disengaging.
God, I'm assuming that's as far as I can get.
Yep. What are the arachnobots doing?
The arachnobots, one's going to attack Astana number 6 and the other's going to attack Astana number 4.
Right. 6 and 4. They haven't... are they wounded? 6 is unwounded. 4 is very vulnerable. So the difficulty to hit number 4, if you do that one first, is a 6.
Oh, okay.
I wonder what Aurore's version of a nuclear bomb is.
The closest you find is the Tharcold Eternity Shard called Pandasmic Warhead.
Pandasmic Warhead.
Yes, it is a technological and magical thermonuclear device.
The holy hand grenade.
Sounds like, no,
it's
that's it.
very, 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 very... Basically, you've got to make a soak test versus 20 or die.
I've now found out what my exotic dancer name is. Everyone, welcome to the stage, please. The Phantasmic Warhead.
Pandasmic is with a P, Pan. But not that it matters. I think Pandasmic's still a good stage now.
Check your back pocket. Make sure we've got one laying around.
Excuse me. You will find mine in the front.
They are what reduced Darkhold to the wasteland that it is.
So if anyone asks, I am the Pandasmic Warhead who has reduced a place to waste. Anyway, they're both going to attack.
Versus a 6, yeah.
They're both going to attack on the Astana number 4.
Okay, so get a +1 bone. Are they doing it separately or together? They're a mob. They can't cooperate, so they have to do it separately. Small pack hunts best.
The one was attacking 6, the other one
Yeah.
was attacking
Okay.
4.
That's grand.
You said, remember?
No, they're both attack. I just said they're both attacking number 4.
He's got a lower. He's got a 6 rather than a 10 to hit. Oh. So that's an outstanding success. So roll 2 bonus die for damage for Arachnobot number 1 and add it to its 10 for damage. Roll the 6 again because you're getting that's a 5, so that's 6.
Roll it again.
11. Roll it again.
I think you've killed it.
14. That's a 24. Yeah, do you want to reselect a target for the other one? Because Stun Undead number 4 just finally went down under a hail of claws.
All right, excellent. And the other one is going to attack number 6. Nope.
Ooh.
Okay. Arachnobot doesn't collapse because it is supported by the Aurortian world laws.
Okay.
Because you are in a mixed zone. Otherwise, it would have just dismantled it.
Right. Would I have been able to do a reconnection thing? Or
no, it's a device. You'd have to repair it outside of combat, like in between scenes. But you can repair it outside of combat in between scenes.
But
yeah.
you're fine, so it's okay.
Yeah. Has everyone had their goes this round then?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So the villains goes. Now, the White Spear Warriors are not aware of the fate of their priestess, so they continue to press the attack. With these guys coming in. So the 3 to they can't cooperate. I want to do things quickly to do cooperation, but they can't. They're not allowed to because you chose the card. So the 3 white spear rowers at the top are taunting Abram. Abram, who has no minuses at the moment.
8 because I'm gaining defense, aren't I?
You are no, but these are not supernatural evil.
Okay, it's just about the undead ones. Okay.
So the first one fails, the second one fails, and the third one fails. The 2 beneath are doing the same on Ryoko. So Ryoko, what's your taunt defense?
6.
So that makes you very vulnerable on the first one, which means the second one only has a 2 to get. And that one makes you very stymied. As these Dinos warriors are basically, they're distracting you. They're basically making you feel generally bad about yourself. Over here, these first 3 move to block the door. One of them taunts Theo, and the other 2 are taunting Dr. Sanders. So Theo first. What's your taunt defense, Theo?
What's it to come off?
It's your charisma if you don't have the skill.
8.
There you go. You're fine. Dr. Dick is taunted on the first one and probably taunted verily on the second one. So Dr. Dick is once more very vulnerable and very stymied. And these 2 go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Their move is 9, so you can do that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they both strike at the fleeing Dr. Hemlock with vicious-looking bone spears. Dr. Hemlock, you are vulnerable. So what is your unarmed defense -2?
6.
Oh, I didn't get a card last time.
Oh,
Yeah,
what? The first one misses. Well, no, you did an attack, Alexander. You won't get a card, but yes,
okay.
for the trick, you will get a card. It's a flurry, Dr. Dick.
Do I get a... I did a trick.
You did one after Dr. Dick, so you should get the next one. My bad. You get the alertness card instead. Don't forget, you can still play cards with your hand into your pool. You should do that every round. And then the melee, see if his luck can hold. The melee weapons for the second one. Luck doesn't entirely hold, but it's not a huge amount of damage. So there's no bonus die. Oh, I forgot they're relentless again. I didn't do all out attacks. I keep forgetting to get into the field. What's your toughness?
My toughness is 6.
So that is 6 result points of damage. It's 1 wound and 2 shock.
That is enough to take me down to 0
again,
and 2 shock, which I'd rather not take. And I have 4 possibilities, so I guess I'll try and soak that.
Okay, go ahead and try and soak.
That'll do it.
It does, so you get rid of one of those wounds, so the one wound and the shock that you would have otherwise taken.
Grand.
Abraham, can you roll me a d6, please?
I think he can.
Okay. Now, on odds, start at undead number 3. The hatred in its eyes flares brightly, and it charges White Spear Warrior number 6.
Roll odds.
Yes, everyone roll an odd.
Is it odd? Is it high? Is it low? I don't know. I might have said it, but anyway.
Oh,
I did say odd, yeah. Okay, that is enough to hit him on a 14. Not enough to do, because his unarmed combat is 10, his melee weapons is 11. Not enough to do bonus damage, but 15 versus his armor is enough to do 2 shock to White Spear Warrior number 6. Alexander, roll a d6.
1d6.
And again. And again. Okay. So the undead number 13 continues its attack on you. Ow.
What?
So what is your melee defense? -4, because you are still vulnerable from having been taunted by the Adinos.
That's 11.
So it hits you, but luckily not enough to do 2 bonus die of damage. And you rolled a 1, and they don't have any kind of thing to make them reroll 1. So 16 versus your armor.
Okay, now I need to look this up.
On the first page
Armor.
of combat.
Toughness.
I should have listed it at on the combat at the top right. I think yours is a 13.
13.
Yeah, and you
And
got
his
4.
was
It was doing 16, so 2 shock.
2 shock. Okay, I take the shock.
However, Ustana Undead number 5 and 11 turn and go after Warriors 8 and 4.
Whoa.
One misses. And that one just misses.
Use one of your possibilities.
Actually, sorry, I forgot about this. Right, so let's just do this. Ustana Undead number 3, as it attacks, I'm going to say it actually did enough to take out White Spear Warrior, as it spends one of its hatred pool possibilities.
Yes.
And Warrior number 6 goes down under the Hail of Claws. Ustana Undead number 5 rolled a 3. So its skill is 11 P3. It spends one of the 13 Ustana hatred pool possibilities.
What, the 13?
13. They have a shared pool of possibilities that any of them can pull from. Luckily, you were limiting them from doing that with what you had been doing, but now they really hate the Adinos, so they're going to use them. That's enough to take down number 8.
Badger, roll odds, Badger.
Those cowards that ran into the stairwell are going to be the only ones that will have.
Hang on, White Spear Warrior. Oh, White Spear Warrior 8. White Spear Warrior 8. Yes, that one there.
This is called strategy. I said we would use this as a
Told you my
defensive
plan would work.
position.
Take out the leader. Look.
Right, Undead number 11 didn't get a very good roll because he was up there with the 11 there. So he's got a skill of that. He rolled 11. They spend one of their possibility pool, putting it up to a 19. That's enough to get 1 bonus die. 3 onto 18. That's more than 5 over the toughness of the White Spear Warrior 3. Dr. Sanders, roll a d6.
Odd. Roll odd. Dice 6, roll odd.
I'm sorry, what?
Roll a d6. And again.
Yeah.
Yay!
What?
We're doing well.
Makes the undead.
Means they now found
You don't have to do another one. You don't have to do a 3. Just 2.
Oh,
3 ones in a row.
Oh,
You're
so they
lucky
got-
you won.
Get rid of all those ones.
they got one and another one, and I thought I was rolling again because I got a 1.
No. Undead number 10 leaps towards White Spear Warrior number 1. Hatred in its eyes.
Yes. Come on. Kill them all.
That's a 5 with a roll again. That's a
Let's
7.
take these with us.
That's a 22. White Spear Warrior 1 goes down.
This only happened because we weren't there.
Undead number 6 also leaps, spends one of its hatred pool possibilities. And that's a 4. That means it's getting a bonus die. It's only a 1, so that gives it a 15, 16 versus their toughness of 13. It's only 2 shock, but it's still something. Onto White Spear Warrior 11. As the, albeit raised minions, as they are driven almost entirely by hatred, without the controlling factor of the Gotak, they are reverting to racial hatred and turning on the species that wiped them out.
Except for one of them.
Because there's a chance, or 2 of them actually, but no, 1 of them, yeah. Okay. Louder than words. Taunts suffer a -10 penalty this round, as there is indeed the whole place. There's a thunderstorm outside. There's a rumbling. Something is making a lot of noise.
I'm playing a card.
When was there a thunderstorm?
Proved actions are attack and intimidate,
Playing Rally 29.
and heroes go first.
Anyone
Rally
hear
do.
me?
Yep, rally. Does everyone remember what rally does?
All players may discard as many cards they wish from their hands. Players then immediately refill their hands. I'm getting rid of all my cards in my hand.
Yeah, me too. No, I get rid of 1.
Okay, so let's just everyone discard first. Tell people what you're discarding in case people have things like master plan, so they can choose.
Oh.
I want that.
God, I had precision and I can't remember the other card.
So wait, we discard everything in our pool or our hand?
No, your hand. You can discard as many cards as you want from your hand, and then once that's done, you can redraw back up to full.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
gonna-
do we move back from the pool?
Sorry?
No, you keep your pull. You don't
Oh, okay.
touch your pull, just your hand.
Combat isn't
Okay.
over. It's the rally
Okay,
card.
I will start. I will drop close call. Play when you would be spotted by guards, wandering creatures, or other foes might be avoided. Although, on the other side, do we want to keep it for the big dino?
There's a benefit. You do know there is a big dino coming up.
Yeah, I will keep it. Never mind me.
Remove my cards. One was something to do with 2 people doing a drama thing, and the other one was, oh god, what the hell was it? Just told you 2 seconds ago. Precision, which means you don't hit allies when you're doing ranged. Anyone else getting rid
Imagine.
of any?
Okay, anyone else discarding anything?
I'll get rid of mine.
yeah.
No.
So, Ado, what are you discarding?
Connection and alertness.
Okay. Dr. Sanders?
I'm not discarding anything.
Okay. Theo, you discarding anything from your hand?
Negative.
Abram, you discarding anything from your hand?
Yeah, got rid of adrenaline.
Okay. So, starting with resident, because regardless of whether you discarded any on the rally, you then
Draw. Cool.
draw back up to 5.
Cool. Okay, so that's 3.
We may end up with some duplication, but we'll deal with that when we get there. So, residents, your 3 are mistaken identity, nemesis, and action. Theo, you get 1 card,
Uh-huh.
and it is setback.
Oh, okay.
Ryoko, you get 3 cards.
Yes. Oh.
Coup de grace, supporter.
Very good.
Good, that's a lot of damage you use it.
Dr. Dick, you get 2. Opponent fails. And adrenaline.
Good.
Abram, you get 5. Because you've got no cards in your hand.
Mm.
So you get drama. And now I have to refresh the entire pool. Because you've just cycled through the deck again.
We're good at that.
Let's get another rally.
Takes a few seconds to reset all the cards. There are about 80 of them at the moment.
Keep them in your pull to use them though.
Come on.
More
Might
second
be
chances, that's what we want.
Okay, so you get 4 more. 1.
Don't see
God, it's
anything
taking
here.
ages now. There we go. 2.
It's the card sinking.
3.
Oh, second win is a good one. It's the healer one.
And Durak, you also need 5.
Oh, I like coup de grace. No, my damage.
Come on, number 4. And 5. And it's all your goes. What are you doing? Proved actions are attack and intimidate, and it's just too loud to do
Would you
so.
like me to clear a path so we can all regroup?
All the undead except one are attacking them.
Yeah, but it looks like they're kind of blocking the way.
Do you want me to blow them away, blow them back, and then we can all get back together?
I suppose we could hide, so like retreat into somewhere else, like one of the other rooms.
The room we're in.
Okay, I shall go first and repel, if I may.
Pulls on the rope and jumps out the window and repels all the way down. I don't know if that's the right word he was using.
You've gone really quiet.
Oh, have I?
You just jump out the window and rappel down. Not sure if that was the right word that you
Yeah,
were
that's
using.
what I said, yeah.
Okay, so
Repel. It's a weak
Ah.
pun.
all right. Well, in that case, I will say, cast forth lightning and scatter them, shoot out thine arrows and destroy them, and I will just repel.
You're going to cast repel from where you are, or you're going to move first?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I usually like to, because it goes out in a
5 meter radius, I think, around you, and then pushes them back 5 meters from that.
So really I could do with being like that, couldn't I think, and that'll fill up Ryoko and blow all these away here. Although, actually, if I was there, would it get those diagonally out the door? Or
I think that might be a bit far away. So if we just very quickly go 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'd have to be there in order to get the ones that are outside as well. But you could be. So if you stepped in between Dr. Dick and the Astana Undead number 10, you would effectively or potentially affect everything within that circle.
am
Basically,
I missing Undead 13 now? I need free up Ryoko really.
It's up to you. You can either get the Dinos outside in the hallway, or
I reckon Ryoko, he's pretty nimble, isn't he? Yeah, I think he'll get out. So yeah, I'll do what you said. I'll get all the ones in the hallway and everything, so at least we've got that area kind of clear. Alright, here comes the faith roll. That's not bad.
What's the difficulty? Is it just 10s? And then it's based on their strength, isn't it?
It's yes, it's 10, but the force is equal strength to the invoker's faith, and affects those enemies who are equal or lesser strength. Those affected are pushed back and stymied. If it's a it's an outstanding success, isn't it? Which basically means the effective strength is equal to faith plus 2, and the foes are very, very stymied.
So they're all very stymied, and they do not have strength 17.
So
1, 2,
throw
3,
about 5.
4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crunch. 5 goes over the balcony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Falling damage is terrible.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It should
Well done, Theo.
It should have been at -2. I'm sorry. Did that make a difference?
No, not for that one.
Cool.
Someone see a bar pop up saying 4,000 on it.
Nope.
Weird. Where did that come from?
I'll move. Oh, where can I get that far? I think I might be able to.
Let's say you're probably on the other side of
Yeah.
residents because of having to negotiate doors and the like.
Okay. There we go.
Let's get rid of the 30.
That was actually the wrong quote. I pasted the wrong one, but never mind. It worked.
Who's going after Theo? As there's a blast of divine energy. It creates a sort of an area which is not only free of enemies, but you get the feel that you might have also purged it of the sorrowful, or at least the hatred feeling that has been prevalent in the whole place.
Oh, cool.
Ryoko, do you want to go next? As you're the only one actually engaged with a combatant that's trying to attack back at the moment.
Well, is this one at full strength still?
Is that one at full strength still? Undead number 13 is... No, it is currently vulnerable and very stymied.
Okay. How many cards can I play from the pool? As many as I like, right?
If they're in the pool, as many as you want.
Okay. So the first thing I do is I spend my second wind and I recover my missing 5
Shock. You get lots to shock back. Cool.
shock. So that one is out of the way.
Yep, discard it.
All right. Then I will pull an Uchihiki move. I will attack and then move away from it. So I will hopefully kill it. So let's do some Uchi and then some Iki. Okay, yeah. Here comes the possibilities. We will do this again. So
Okay, you are still stymied because of it was last round that it was applied to you.
Yeah, so my skill is 15, right?
There's an 11 with the modifiers.
11 with the modifiers, and I have a roll of 2.
And its unarmed combat defense is 10.
Oh well. Oh well. Guess I can't play a glory card, right?
Not of that one, no. What damage is that?
Yeah, well, that would be the 13 armor piercing 2.
Okay, so armor piercing 2 means they've only got a toughness of 13. So you're at a 0 at the moment. If you had anything that could take it up to a 5, so if you managed to get 5 more points from somewhere, you'd do a wound and 2 shock.
Does
Hang on a second.
two of
Yeah,
you
no,
have a water card?
Doesn't have any minus. Well, you'd need, or you could because you were on an 11, weren't you? Or 4 points added to your attack would give you a bonus die of damage.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
It's a pity your
Or-
coup de grace weren't in your hand at that.
As you are in the living land and attack is an approved action this round, and as you're the only person that's done this up until now, I can let you retroactively say you're going to do all-out attack. Because from the law of savagery, when attack is an approved action, all-out attacks gain an additional bonus die.
Yeah, let's do this. All
So that would have given you that's gonna give you minuses going on from this round.
Sure.
But that would be a +4, which will put you at 15, which will give you a bonus die of damage, and the savagery gives you an additional bonus die of damage. So
that's a 17 armor piercing 2.
Which is enough to do 1 wound and 2 shock. Undead 13. I've lost it again. Where's 13 gone?
It's right in front of me.
With an uncharacteristically savage Kai shout, Ryoko's last enemy goes down.
And now I'm getting the hell out of dodge.
And you get a card.
Yeah.
A card in your pool. Well,
How far
Can
can I reach the door?
You can do. One thing I will point out is this floor is at the top of the stairs.
Oh.
Okay. So there are other floors above you, but you don't get to them from that set of stairs, clearly.
All right. I will just take a breather behind the bots of.
Okay, you move past the arachnobots, not a problem. Who's following Ryoko? Who hasn't had to go yet?
I take a shot at number 4. Please.
What White Spear Warrior for?
Yeah, sorry, White Spear Warrior 4.
Are you really wanting to get rid of the live things these things are targeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Possibly not with that roll, though, because their dodges are 10s.
I'll spend my adrenaline, so it gets it as a 12.
Okay, that's enough to do damage.
14 damage.
Okay, that's 2 shock against White Spear Warrior number 4, as the bone armor looks to be a little bit more resilient than you would otherwise expect. You can see there's a look of surprise and fear in the lizard man's eyes within the holes of its helmet anyway, as it obviously is unsure of why it's suddenly being attacked by 2 different forces. Dr. Dick?
How many shots do they have?
He's got 2 left.
They must be getting low. I'm going to back up as well. Do I get a card, please? And so.
Successful attack.
Oh no, Ryoko got one.
Yeah, Ryoko got opponent fails. You get transfer. You got the opponent fails card into your hand, Ryoko, from your successful attack.
Sorry, I didn't get that. I got what?
Last round, for your successful attack, you got the opponent fails card, yeah?
Opponent fails. No, I took the coup de grace card. I don't have an opponent failed card.
Yeah, you have now. You played coup de grace into your pool, but you got a card into your hand for doing the attack.
Okay. Okay. This is what you.
Okay, so we've got Resident Durak, and that's it, I think. Oh, Dr. Dick, you just moved, yeah?
I move, and then I'm going to shoot White Spear Warrior 2 with my Uzi.
Okay, go ahead.
Short burst.
+2 for the short burst. Reduce your ammo count by 3.
Yep. How was it? Oh.
You're a realm runner, aren't you?
Yeah.
You don't disconnect.
Ha! About time that is useful for something, I guess. Finally.
Finally, you get to
Finally,
use it.
critical failure.
You've been avoiding the odds all this time, but it finally paid off. Unfortunately, it's still a miss.
Can you multi-attack
And the
then?
gun jams.
Can you multi-attack and an all attack?
And you multi-attack and an all-out attack. Of course you can.
Okay, I was just checking. Because some games you can't, right? Can I go next then? Does anyone else
gun
need to
jams.
go?
Yeah, you can go before me.
I'm going to move over here and do an all-out attack, multiple attack on these two people.
Okay, so +2 overall on your attack roll. Because it's a +4 for all-out attack, -2 for multi.
Hey.
Their melee weapons is an 11, so that is an outstanding success. So you are rolling 3 dice for bonus damage, 2 for the outstanding success, and 1 for the law of savagery.
Click on it, do it again. Oh my god.
Wells. 25. Plus whatever your norms is. Is it 15?
25 plus 16, which is 41 and 2 AP.
Dead.
Did they survive?
No. 2
What a-
and 5.
Very well now.
Can I have my cards, please?
Some bits and pieces.
Sorry, I was just finding it so funny.
Which one? The other one's gone, and 2 needs to go. Yeah, you take them apart and get an adrenaline card. In fact, you take them apart so much you actually, at that point, you look over and you note that White Spear Warrior 10 is actually lying at a strange angle, prostrate on the stairs where he got knocked over the balcony rail anyway. Hemlock.
What's left to be done?
Well, you're not entirely sure. You can still hear sounds of fighting from the room behind you, but there certainly doesn't appear to be any threats apart from the dwarf who's got his arms up to his elbows, drenched in blood.
What about this White Spear Warrior number 10?
That's lying prostrate out of line of sight because it fell half a flight of stairs and took enough stun to took it out. It's been taken out on that one.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You can
I'm
sense
going.
with whatever your connection to the arachnobots is, that they can still see threats within the room.
I think, given what we've seen, I'm going to basically just bug back into the room, up against the wall. I'm going to take the spiders with me and get them to sit on either side of the door, and wait patiently and shoot.
Okay, and then you can take a recovery action if you wish.
Oh,
If you
What?
need to get stunned back, that will give you 2 shock.
Forgot about that. I must do that for the next few turns where these undead are
Cool.
killing people.
cool. And then I'm done.
You're taking away my shield. I was hiding behind
Not your shield. Find another shield.
Find a real shield.
Wolf, come here.
That's Thurgo now.
Oh, no, I didn't want that. That's wrong. Why did I roll hero card? Let's put that back in the deck.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's not a new initiative round, is it?
Nope.
Well, what's left, essentially, the 1, 2 remaining Adinos warriors are swarmed, seeing as they can, by the remaining animate Ustana. The only 2 that see this are the 2 remaining in the room, possibly Theo, because you stood at the door. Once the lizard men are on the floor, the undead insect turn their eyes towards you. You feel a wave of just malice wash over you, but with it, there's a sense of you'll wait till later. And the bodies just collapse to the floor, very much like the Garthim at the end of Dark Crystal. They literally just stop being held together by whatever force it was, and their various carapaced body bits fall to the ground. And the whole place, it goes still, but the noise is still raucous, as there does appear to be a thunderstorm raging outside.
Are we
So,
moving anywhere?
You remember my advice, don't anyone look at a still body of water.
So
No pub, no glasses
you
of water,
have a
nothing.
breather, a very brief breather. That's hard to say if you're not concentrating. So everyone can get all their shock back.
Oh, good.
Everyone needs to put whatever cards you've got left in your pool back into your hand.
What's the shock equal?
It's equal to your spirit, your maximum shock.
All cards back into hand.
All your pool cards back into your hand.
Reduce it to 5. Got so many cards in my pull hand at the minute. Right, what am I going to get rid of? Do you want to keep that? Want to keep
I've
that?
got to discard that.
Reduce that hand.
This is so hard.
Aye, what to get rid of?
You're going to need to discard in a minute back down to 5.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. I've got like 8 cards in my hand.
Done.
What's the status? Is that the taunt suffers -10 penalty?
Yeah, any status penalties. So yeah, the vulnerable, stymied, very vulnerable, very stymied. Those ones.
Oh, okay, right. So those ones, right. Okay, good.
Right. Once everyone has discarded down to 5, let me know.
Ryoko done.
Done.
For some reason, my Adobe's stopped behaving. Won't let me open any.
Bad Adobe.
Naughty Davy.
There we go. I'm down to 5. Oh, that was hard. I destroyed some really good cards because other cards were better. Will we be traveling to a sinister destination?
Are we allowed to trade cards before we discard
Yeah,
that?
if you want to.
Because I don't think we've ever done that. It just never occurred to me before.
It's a bit late for me because I just destroyed 3 cards.
Not that I had any.
I destroyed 2 willpowers and I destroyed the other one. What's the other one? The one that does strength, etc., etc. Adrenaline. Destroyed those 3. Would anyone like a second chance?
That's all
We'd all like a second chance at things, really. I think that's the sort of thing we ask ourselves every day.
Right, Resonance doesn't want it. For swapping
I've
hands.
got one, so I'm okay for a second chance. Are you getting rid of a second chance?
No. I'm asking, does anyone want to swap a second chance? Because I've got 2 second chance cards.
I can give you a reconnect for it.
Yeah, give me a reconnect for it.
Okay.
Just go find second chance on the chat window, and I'll find your reconnect somewhere. Oh, I can get it from the image cards, can't I? What's your reconnect called?
Reconnect 61.
Okay, and my one's called second chance 30. Because I have
Where do I find that? Where is that?
Click images on the right hand side, and then. Oh, what was yours called again? Sorry, I've forgotten because you just talked to me. Sorry.
Reconnect 61.
Got it. and I deleted one of my second chance 30s.
Is anybody discarding down a final card after their fifth one?
Oh, you can do another one?
I think I'm pretty good.
Well, once you're down, once you've got that last one or down to 5, you can choose one more and then draw up to 5.
I'm perfectly fine with these. These cards are great, especially the 2 of these cards.
The stick.
Just wish I had something to let me put all my hand in my pull in one go. I'd be so happy.
Playing for
You do.
No,
Sees
all
the
in one go.
moment.
All in
playing
one
for the
go.
critical moment. That's exactly what it does.
Does it?
You take your entire hand and put it into your pool. Anything
Okay.
you don't use by the end of the go, though, is discarded. And you can do that once per act.
You have no idea what this. Oh God, I would have been so brilliant a minute ago. The cards I just deleted.
Well, it can be brilliant in a minute.
No, it can't be now because I basically had a way of giving someone stuff, and then
Oh,
I
okay.
could have played, and then they would have got those cards.
Okay, bring out the dino.
Yeah, I did ask you a question, John. Are we moving? Are we traveling to some sinister destination?
You're only okay, yes, but only 2 floors.
Okay, because this sunset card, that's the only requirement. I get delayed. We get delayed on the way there.
Yeah, if you played it earlier on, it might have been appropriate, but you're sort of, you're only about, you're on floor 86 and you need to get up to floor 90, so only like 4 floors up, which is what you proceed to do. It doesn't take you long searching around on this floor to find the half-blocked sort of maintenance stairs that lead upwards. And they also lead downwards a few levels as well, but you're intending to go up. The storm continues to rage outside, and I'm just desperately trying to get this bit to load so I can give you the right picture. But
We want
anyway,
to see the right picture. We don't want to see it. We don't like big dinosaurs.
as you head upwards, those of you that are familiar with core Earth architecture can see you're definitely in a sort of a concrete lined maintenance stairwell. It goes up 4 lots of stairs until you find yourself essentially on the roof. Now, the roof of Willis Tower, if I can just...
What's on the roof? What's on the roof? Helipad. There was a big hitch.
Oh, well, there is a big helipad, but there's a number of other things as well. So firstly, there's 2 huge radio antennas that go off the top of the tower, but they're off a ways. You just can make out through the shattered doorway the scene ahead of you. The whole of the roof appears to be covered with shattered wood and moss. From the center of the roof, another giant tree is growing, similar to the one that you encountered in Washington. Likewise, it is dark, it is gnarled, its leaves are fetid and brown, but there are a number of other things that you see as you look out across this area. The first is the fact that arrayed around the entryway, stopping you from traveling at this moment any further forward. I just need to delete people from the tracker, delete from tracker, all non-friendly, are about just under a dozen of the same sort of figures you were fighting downstairs, although these ones all show signs of combat, battle, missing eyes. One of them, it's the lower part of its jaw is entirely exposed to the bone, and they all have the telltale stench of the dead about them. There is a quite tall-looking Adinos who is facing the dim thread tree and is talking to something that you can only really describe as a 3-headed, 12-foot tall bone golem with scythes for arms. And then just as you think that's enough, the whole roof shakes, and stepping out from behind the bulk of the tree that was hiding it is, well, what we'll call, it's not a T-Rex, it's a Z-Rex. It is clearly undead as well, but it is the size of a full-grown male tyrannosaur. So next week, we will begin.
God, is that the time with the
Wait. I can play close call. No one has to see us,
Okay, cool. So at this moment in time,
and
You've-
we are gone. Or guys, what do you think?
That's good. I like that. I don't like that
Good.
either.
Let's go with that.
the difficult thing you have, somebody's got an alertness card, haven't they? Was it alertness an idea I saw going into somebody's? You didn't discard them, did you?
I've got an idea.
I think I did. Yep.
Someone did.
You've managed to pick up, Theo, you have managed to pick up a few words of the Adinos language in the time you've spent in the Living Land. And the priest, it is a priest, is speaking to the large bone creation. And you managed to essentially work out the sentence, "Our Lord Starlek demands that no more heathen leave through the tree." Now, logically, you deduce that these are not the Adinos that you're following. The Adinos that you have been following have indeed gone this way. And you draw the conclusion, especially since the Adinos at the bottom told you that Malacrix was coming here to travel through the air again. Malacrix must have gone through what is the dim thread tree in front of you. Now, thanks to Alexander's playing of the card, close call, you have got an opportunity, if you play your cards right, tell me how you're going to do it. If you can get past them somehow, you can get through the tree now, not next week. How are you going to do it?
Get Theo to stand in the middle of the roof and do his gust spell.
Who's got that? Who's got that lovely invisibility spell?
None of you have got a lovely invisibility spell. Repel might work. What we'll do, rather than doing this as a combat, we'll convert this. This is going to be a dramatic skill resolution, but it's only 3 steps: A, B, and C, not A, B, C, and D. So you tell me what the 3 steps are, and if you are able to complete the dramatic skill resolution, we'll begin next week on the other side of the dim thread tree.
Well, C's going to be run through the entrance.
A new act.
Well, I suppose
If you can do this now, 5 XP in it for you as well.
Come on, people.
5 XP.
Well, I suppose one step could be distracting the.
Distract them first.
Well, the tower guard at the moment are guarding the doorway. Let me share you the map. I wasn't expecting to do this, but let's do this. So here we share the map. I have got a token for the appropriate additional big dudes as well.
All we have to do is charge down the center with Theo. Theo gets into the spot. He does the big blow up, and then we run for the
Oh, that's not the right size.
perfect size.
Hang
I
on.
don't like that size. Could you go back? It's too big.
Right. So this thing went Jurassic Parky around the edge. Bom, 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 bom. You have. Come on, I'm sure. Oh, I didn't do one for Slivik. That's going to annoy me. Hang on. Let's. How do I make these bigger so I can work out what they are? Because I've got an actual token for the guy as well, but. No, it's not this guy, but it might as well be that guy. Hang on, I know what I've done. I've not. Yeah, I have set the scale up on this. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that
Very,
T-Rex is. That's far too big.
The
oh my
square is
God.
very small. You zoom in.
That's a lot of movement. How many squares from us to that door of that tree? One. God, I can't even count
Got
on the.
5x5. That's what I want for that guy.
Sorry, the lines are too faint. I can't see them.
So this guy is stood here talking to something that I don't have an icon for, but I'll just use one. We'll use the Skeleraptor.
It's about 20, maybe a little bit more.
And then the
Yeah, about 25, 26.
Well, the bone Rex is only there because of the card.
yes,
Theo.
yes.
So yeah, but I mean, is the T-Rex hostile to the other
Yes.
guys?
Nope.
No.
Right,
What do you
and
think of the plan then, guys, or do you have a better ABC?
I think using the big dino somehow is going to probably be.
Why are they all crowded around us?
because there's a backstory to what's happened here before you got here.
Okay. I want a nuclear bomb.
However, they haven't spotted you at the moment.
Where are we then? I thought we were at that door coming out.
You are. Give me a second.
How's my base taming go? Sorry, beast taming. I think maybe we could ride a zombie dinosaur.
So basically, you guys have come up the stairs.
We maybe I could do something to agitate the T-Rex a little bit, or the Z-Rex, the Z-Rex. I don't
Another
know.
big one there as well.
We use Ryoko's smoke bombs as well.
I don't have any left. I only had one.
What good are you then?
Alright.
Might as well stay down there with the undead.
What about if we go underneath and then where we go, the floor underneath, we go where the tree's roots are and then go upwards.
Climb through the tree roots somehow.
Now, bear in mind, dramatic skill resolution. So the 3 steps can be quite arbitrary. Doesn't necessarily have to be step B, move there. It could be, well, let's get there. It doesn't necessarily require you to go, well, round 1, I move 6, round 2, I move another 6, round 3, I move another 6. Don't forget, you can all run 3 times. So it's within reasonable ideas to say, well, within step B could be running there. But then there might be a difficulty about what you do when you get there because of the Z-Rex.
So what about the one I wrote? Is that possible?
Let's look at your plan. Why are we on a roof? Why are we on a tree up here? Did you write down anything?
To
A,
spot.
run to
Blow them
spot. B, blow them away. C, run in tree.
How are you blowing them away?
The guy with the spell, that's what the plan was around Theo's. Blowing them away.
Okay, but you probably, I mean, that might work. I would say if your first step needs to be clear the doorway. Second step, get to the tree. Third step, dive in the tree. Or clear the doorway, do something to distract, get to the tree. Those will be your 3 steps.
So I'm thinking,
We need to say what we're
Point
doing.
lasers in the T-Rex face. That's
Well,
going to maybe make it act all weirdly. That could create a distraction.
It's between us and the tree, so we don't really want it to charge towards
Yeah,
us.
but it's still going to distract the others, maybe.
We have to clear the doorway. So the only things I can think of is blow them away from the doorway or charge bash them, because there's 2 of us with shields that can charge out and push them away and get through. Maybe. Any other ways you think
Might
we
be
get
good
through
enough.
them?
Just charge out with intimidate or something, because they'll be so startled it'll set them back a bit. Give us enough time then to charge for the tree.
Thanks to the card that Alexander played, you're getting this opportunity. So, yes, you could potentially get surprise on them. Can everybody just give me a fear check, please? So, spirit or willpower test at -4.
Oh, when you said that first.
Where the
Was it willpower?
Yes.
Yep.
Willpower at -4. Oh God, no. I've got a second chance card though in my hand.
Let's just say that you wait about a minute or two before you even start talking, because that dinosaur has put the fear of insert deity here into the lot of you. I mean, T-Rexes are scary. This thing is, well,
Terrifying.
whatever can. If there's something out there that can animate that big of a dead dinosaur, then yeah, you could be in a lot of trouble.
We should probably spend some possibilities, I think.
we just spend a couple of minutes.
Yeah, you spend a few minutes just quietly arguing with yourselves.
We can do this. We can do this.
I mean, what friggin' B-movie scriptwriter concept developer came up with this thing? It's like freaking sci-fi channel stuff.
Feels like some sort of priestly thing.
Theo, while you're still listening to the conversation, that the instructions that the individual has been giving, the bone golem type thing, you managed to pick up a few more things. The name Stalek, Rek Stalek, keeps coming up with some degree of reverence. You get the name of the individual that's doing the talking. He talks about himself in the third person a couple of times. It's Slivik. And you get the impression that both the dinosaur and this 3-headed monstrosity are the results of worship of this Stalek.
Ungodly products of ungodly worship.
Mm-hmm. Strange.
Wait,
as far as you were aware, there was only one faith in the living land, and that's the followers of Lanala, or Ketakales, as they call it.
didn't we? What's the name of that leader that we just killed?
The leader that you just killed.
I like something. I think he was that wizard.
He was. Well, yeah, you didn't know that. The icon was called a Stalek Gotak.
Okay.
A Gotak is a kind of priest in the living land.
Okay. I was like, Just wondering if we had somehow killed the. Yeah, that would make sense.
We put the fear of Stolik in them somehow then, and trick them into thinking Stolik is, angry with them for letting something go through the tree, and then charge through as they let something else go through the tree.
So let's say your step A is clearing the door. Step 3 is going to be a maneuver to successfully get to or in the tree. What
Yeah.
are you going to do as your choice for step B?
Dodging the hell out of everything.
What if we? I don't know. It might be difficult, but somehow direct the T-Rex to not attack them, but just stumble into these other guys, or maybe I don't know.
The T-Rex to come closer, 'cause at the
Pointy
moment,
lasers. I don't know how you do that.
we're at the side of the tree. Is it
T-Rex
like
aren't good at turning.
Can't we make the bone golem look like food for the T-Rex or so?
No.
Thing is, it's undead, so you're not entirely sure what it's craving right now.
Well, I don't think our brains are big enough.
Dr. Dick, Theo, and Ryoko, give me find checks quickly. Okay. Dr. Dick, Ryoko, while you're surveying the scene, I mentioned there were 2 big radio antennas. One of them appears to have fared a lot worse than the other. There's a lots of physical damage. It looks like some of the infrastructure might have been damaged by the tree. As you're watching, as the thunderstorm is raging outside, it gets struck by lightning 3 times and sways quite dramatically. And these things are a good 150, 160 feet tall.
Hmm. And where are those radio towers or antennas?
One on each side, I think you said, didn't
Yeah, they're slightly off the map, but one's off to the left, off to the right.
Clear the mob. Make somehow this antenna fall down on top of dinosaurs, and then.
Yeah, or we could I don't know, direct. I don't know.
I don't know how to direct
Yeah.
electricity.
Make the one fall, and so we have a distraction. Everyone panics, runs away.
Yeah, but I will make it fall.
Or a small
Survivors.
explosion base of it will.
Might do. Well placed explosive.
I
Just
can
blow up the tree.
coup de grace one of the ropes that. I don't know.
That's a possibility as well. Some kind of thrown thing to detach one of the remaining anchor cables.
How we do this thing?
You think if you could get it to fall, it would be a distraction. If you get it to fall really well, you might be able to get it to fall on something.
Well, Ryoko, if you could get over there and do that while I'm bamboozling the Z-Rex.
Yeah, well, I'm not a stealthy character.
What?
We're not doing stuff.
I'm not stealthy.
Oh,
I
I
think
thought
any
that
of
was the whole thing.
We're not doing stuff.
Crap.
I think it's Dr. Dick used the term if you sneak over there.
Well, is there only this one door where all the dinos are standing, or dinosaur?
It's let's say there's probably one window. It's going to be one of those quite thick windows with the wire mesh within it, though. So it's held up to the rigors of the weather and the living land so far, and possibly the dinos don't understand the concept of safety glass.
Okay, and it's pitch black outside.
It's dark. It's very.
It's also raining.
Yeah, it's raining. There's a thunderstorm. It's maybe about 2 a.m.
All right. So perhaps and the right antenna would be the one that is already flimsy.
Yes, the right-hand antenna. So to the northeast of
Like
the
a
map.
lightning strike, anyway.
Well, at the moment, the
So-
lightning is being attracted to both the radio antennas. There's nothing being hit at this level.
I just see this blur of an electric armored girl running. They might think it's a lightning strike or something. Anyway, we might get away with it.
Wait,
Supercharge.
so how do we see what's outside?
Basically, you're looking through the security glass
Oh yeah.
and the semi-open doorway at the moment. Obviously, what you're discussing isn't being discussed over the course of like tens of minutes. It's brief seconds.
Okay, well, I could hop outside, go towards the antenna, and watch its way in the wind. And when its way is in the right direction, I could try to loosen the cable, cut it, whatever.
Yeah, that could be an appropriate step B.
Yeah, no, I can distract the Rexy dude.
Do we need the Rex
Well, that
distracted?
happens. I don't know.
No, we don't need. We're only doing
don't
3.
You what you do. It's up to you how you do it.
Well, one of them is getting through the hole. One of them is getting rid of the mob, and we've only got one other thing to do.
Yeah.
Just one question I don't understand. Don't we need any of those seeds or something to activate the portal?
No, the portal you had to activate that with was the Ahibi temple in the land below.
Okay.
The previous dim thread tree you encountered, you literally just ran through.
All right.
Was
So
that the same
not
pod?
they do all the stuff, and then we are bouncing against the trunk of the tree, sitting in front of Mr. Rex.
You are
Make sure
certain that this is the same sort of tree you encountered in Washington. You can see the same pods, which obviously contain some living creatures within them, and the slow pulse of energy that is obviously feeding the tree. And there is a large, obvious open bowl within the trunk of the tree that fair screams, "Walk here."
All right. Okay. So A is distract, B is
Well, you need to clear a path out. One of you could get out to set up a distraction for the second step. So we can get you out there now, and then you would have to do the clear the door, execute the distraction, and then maneuver to get into the tree. Okay. So to set that up, Ryoko, how are you getting into position for the, let's say, the distraction of the radio antenna?
well.
You can do 2 distractions if you want. It will just make
You said there is a window. Can I slip out of the window without being seen?
You can certainly try.
All right.
It is dark outside.
Okay.
Need to remove the wire mesh and glass.
Give us what we're going to do. Give me a science check, somebody, as you're examining the mortar and the concrete around the window.
Anybody have that? Will I roll it? Nope.
Lots of people can. Anyone who's got science can do it.
Hey, 17, not bad.
a good roll anyway.
Oh, somebody rolled high.
Boom shakalaka.
Oh, just showing off residents.
Well, you're all looking at the window. And Abram, you do note that, yes, some of the mortar around the window appears to be quite decayed and corroded. And you basically get out your Bowie knife and you start hacking away at it. And while they're all paying attention to this window, residents, you look around and then you look up and there's some kind of a vent in the ceiling on the other side. You reach up, you carry a cane or sword cane, don't you? Probably.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, you reach up and and you basically just plonk it out, and there's a nice rectangular hole, essentially into a some kind of air conditioning system. And you point this out, Ryoko. You look at it and you go, you reckon this probably comes out where those fans are on the map?
Perfect.
Go for it.
You have to use
It's only
TORG.
really big enough for one person. Well, this ball, we'll go into the dramatic resolution in a second. But so, what skill are you using to get there? I mean, stealth to get there quietly, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I only got the stealth thingy. Is there anything else? Maneuver?
Well, you can use stealth in the first instance because it is really stealth to get there.
Plus up your dex. Your dex is pretty good. 9.
You're going to get a +4 because of the circumstance.
Oh, for God's sake! Who sent that? Who sent
Possibility.
Theo?
And you start out your ball.
Okay,
Here's
so there's a possibility. Wait again. So
you put your stealth skill, in other words, your dex, in the first box, and then you put the die roll total so far, i.e., a 4, in the second box.
Not still getting a +1 to your dex from Theo, are you?
No, that's all off by now.
Is that gone, has it? Oh.
Yeah.
come on,
It's a 10. It doesn't count as a 1.
That's fine.
1. I mean,
Get those
Your
rubbish
die
rolls
total
out
is
now.
14. That gives you a +1. You manage to make your way into the position. You can just once you get out the other side and you manage to squeeze your way out past the blade of the fan, you just feel so much more exposed with the wind blowing, and it's every so often you can hear, because the T-Rex is still bellowing like a T-Rex would.
Just imagine she makes a load of clattering noise as she goes through it, really banging and smashing. And at one point, even she sets off her electric armor, so it all lights up and it goes. Zzz. But thankfully, they're all there shaking her head, going, "Oh, for God's sake, what's she doing?" But at the same time, a lightning strike comes down and hits, so she just about gets away with it.
Yeah, you're just lucky enough in that point. So you're in position. So for the first round of the dramatic skill resolution, you'll be able to play cards from your pool from your hand throughout this. I'm not going to worry about building the pool up. Shatterer of blades or shattered blades. So you can do A, B, or C.
Yes.
And you can twice.
I don't get those cards anymore. I don't see them.
It's in the window, chat window.
Click on the little blue.
Okay, there it
I've
is.
just shared it. Don't worry.
Okay.
So your step A is revealing your presence by clearing the door.
Don't use any weapons, guys.
Or if you want to,
No.
you could do the distraction first if you want, and then clear the door. So step A could be the distraction, or step A could be clearing the door. It's entirely up to you.
Let's distract, because that'll have all them looking away and moving away.
Okay.
And then shield people, barge out, smash through them, and then we'll pelt it for the tree.
Ryoko, you've positioned yourself near one of the 2 or 3 remaining support cables that is still holding this radio antenna up, and you wait for some lightning flash and a few peals of thunder, and then you basically bring up your katana and you bring it down. 1, 2, 3. So give us a melee weapons test. You've got a difficulty number of 15 on this. As you bring your very sharp katana down on this, the cable's still a good 3 or 4 inches of hardened steel wire.
Any cards we want to swap?
Yeah, I have a supporter card for myself. Yeah.
What have you got to help
Wait,
yourself?
you needed a 15, was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I could give you an action card if you want. Or adrenaline.
Probably adrenaline, because action can be used on either, so it's slightly better.
No?
Action's a possibility card. Isn't it?
No, it's not.
No, that's hero. Action
any.
plus 3 to any action, so it is more useful than an adrenaline, which can just be used on strength and dex test.
Oh.
Right. Well, I'm going to give you adrenaline then.
So just
plus
what
3.
card are you going to give them back in return?
I will give him the support card.
Okay, so you get the support
or the willpower 8.
Your choice, that one or that one.
Willpower.
Okay. So you're using the adrenaline, and you crack down once, crack down twice, and you're doing this sort of like Shawshank Redemption style. You're timing it to the thunderclaps, And then on the third one, the last tautly held wire goes ding, and it just whips away from you, narrowly avoiding ripping your katana out of your hand. But then underlying the peals of thunder, there's a as the whole thing begins to tumble and it crashes down. You didn't get an outstanding success. It doesn't crash down on anybody, but it crashes down perpendicular to the top of the map, and the lizard man priest yells at something, and four of the figures that are guarding the door and the Z-Rex pound off to investigate. Step B on your flurry. You're going to go ahead and clear the rest out of the doorway, and I believe that's up to Father Theo. Yeah.
You can do it, Father Theo.
Father.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
We believe
So,
in you.
faith check, here it comes.
Could any of us assist? No?
You have you got faith?
No.
You need the same skill to assist. So
I have no faith in him.
yeah.
After all
Okay.
these,
So you just need to success. I mean, their strengths, they're the same as they were in life. Strength 10s. So as long as you're successful, you will blast them clear of the doorway.
Theo can't respond to people making fun of them.
Don't stop believing.
but so after all these inspirational quotes have been saying, no one's got any faith still. That's
I have got faith. No, I don't. I am a
You
dwarf.
don't. You, I thought you didn't have faith in anything.
okay. Here it
You
comes.
purposely disfaith everything.
Yeah, that's right. I just laugh when I'm about to say it, and I realize I don't have any faith at all.
How
I think you're on the verge of getting the perk which gives trying something on me -4. I disbelieve that much.
Oh no, I'm getting Rune Maker.
You step up to the doorway quietly. You kneel down and mumble your prayer, and just stand up and then boldly present your holy symbol around the corner. And as you would have expected,
shy away.
I do not roll 1.
two,
Is that your fifth already?
He's done it. 16.
Oh wow, God.
3, 4, 5,
I didn't
One.
notice it.
3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diagonally. Yes. I would just need to make sure the next
Okay.
card is a C.
The way is clear.
Run!
You've got 5 rounds to do this. Now, for this one, make yourself look bigger.
Oh,
Doesn't
C!
have a C.
Don't have the card where you can
Here, wait
bring
a
the
minute.
one.
I'm going to try something here. I don't know if it'll work not, but I'm going to play Leadership 50,
Mm-hmm.
which basically means I can move 2 cards from my hand into someone else's pool or hand.
Yep.
And then I refill my hand. I want to see. I'm going to move Flurry 16 and Monologue into Abraham. Just say Abraham.
Thank you.
So it's Flurry 16 and Monologue 66. And then I get
You're
2
going to get
cards.
2 more.
Sorry, I get 3 cards because I played 1. So it'll be 3 cards. Can I delete these? Have you got them already, Abraham?
Which flurry, sorry?
Flurry 16 and Monologue 66. I need to take my cards.
You get coup de grace, seize initiative, and adrenaline.
This is the one I want. I take the other card. I play this card.
Are you grabbing a new one or keeping the old one?
Keeping the old one.
Okay. So this one, you've each got to do a successful maneuver against a 10 to fulfill step C.
That's not good, guys.
Good luck. Oh, that'll do it. Yay.
Okay, so Abram runs across, dives into the tree.
That's how you do it. Just saying.
No one else do a maneuver?
John,
Just me. I'm
John,
the other
where,
side of the tree by myself.
I'm
Alexander, yeah.
where am I? I'm still in the house.
Yeah,
Oh.
you just got to do the same thing. You're just running from a slightly different direction.
You all
Alright.
take the maneuver test then, is that it?
Yeah, you've all got to
Okay.
do the maneuver test. You've all got to do a successful maneuver DN10.
Yes, who's that? Oh,
Close. You need 2 points.
I will go last.
I'll use a possible.
You are at the end of an act, so your possibilities are going to reset and refresh anyway.
That's why I'm using 10. Okay, here we go. Like possibility. I always forget to double click that thing. Just reduce it by 1.
Okay, so Dr. Dick successfully gets across. Theo, with his possibility, manages to get across. Durak, with his possibility.
I'm sure Theo put it in correctly there. He had 8 before. He's only got 10 now.
Yeah, because he only went from the.
You do roll a 14.
Yeah, so he rolled 2 14s.
Well, he's done it anyway. Whatever he did. Yeah, 6 and a 10. So the 4 adds to the 6. No, anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. He got there.
I did do it wrong.
If
You're
he rolled
right.
too low, it doesn't matter because he would have rolled higher.
I used Durax.
President, can you do a maneuver check?
Yes.
And Ryoko, you've got to do a maneuver check as well.
Ryoko. Perfect.
Right. They're going to have to dump a possibility in that. Or can I?
Yes, you can.
Yep. So you put your skill in the first one and your die total in the second.
Skill plus the. So 2 in it, my skill plus my dex.
Plus the skill adds, yeah.
Yeah. Plus what I got on the dice. Eek.
Yay!
That's good. Right.
So with the roaring of the Z-Rex fading behind you, you each jump into the bowl of the dim thread tree.
And next week, we find out where we land.
No, you find that out this week, and that's the cliffhanger.
All right.
You leap through the dark hollow of the dim thread tree, perhaps expecting to see Malacrix and the Temple of Chichen Itza, which is where the other Dinos said she was going. You steel your resolve, knowing this is likely a suicide mission as you face off against the powerful priestess and what could be thousands of the Dinos. But instead, there is nothing but blackness, cold, bone-chilling darkness. Where you previously sensed the presence of something ancient and evil when you travelled through the tree in Washington, this time you feel the touch of that something old and evil. Somehow, without knowing what it is, you feel you're in the presence of a darkness device. You were aware that the High Lords wielded some object of great power, but this experience suggests that the devices themselves have a sentience. Then, as if taunting you via waking dreams, you see a regal, onyx-skinned Adinos. This must be Malacrix, standing atop a great temple in the Mayan ruins of Chichen Itza. Thousands of warriors are gathered around her, cheering and screaming in some kind of frenzy. The Godbox sits on an altar between her and, well, this 15-foot tall lizard man must only be Baruch Kar. This is more than an offering to the Tsar of the Idanos. It's a dowry. This is a wedding. The Godbox cries out to any who will listen. Inside is the goddess of the Adinos herself, Lanala. The box hasn't just captured her, it controls her. With the goddess of life as a puppet, the Dionysus' growing descent to Karl's rule will end, and the tyrant king will destroy the Americas. You hear, or perhaps sense, a slow, deep, and terrible laugh that rattles you to the innermost depths of your soul. A great wave of force hits you, and you each feel yourselves tumbling off into darkness. And we'll begin there next week. You all get 5 XP
Joy.
as the scene ends, and you are now in Act 5, the wedding of Baruch Carr.
Cool.
65.
Scene 1, the magnificent storm night.
Sure, we can actually stop this.
Wait, were we at 65 XP?
Yep.
And then we got.
Yes.
No, we're not at 65.
We're on
You were at 60, you're now on 65.
Oh,
John, sorry, what did you say? Is dexterity upping from from 9 to 10?
9 to 10 will be 20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
15
more.
if you got
One off.
Welcome to RPN.
All
I
right,
still need
guys.
5 to get that pack.
Okay, good.
Cool, guys.
Packing?
I'm late, but we're leaving it there.